He's in the background sorting out his audio. Let's play the intros.
So FTFE. Well, everybody here on the panel, quickly. Even you, Luca.
He's gone.
This 45 degree that you at the sun, is he gone? Okay.
Yeah, he's gone.
Would that be a hypotenuse of a right angle triangle?
Absolutely.
The 45, yeah.
No,
45, yeah.
the elevator.
Just done my intros on my side.
Oh, it's so loud. That's echoey. This is all I've got so far. Oh, here comes Flatsoid. Hopefully that doesn't offend him. Where are you at, Craig? Are you just making a racket over there?
Yeah.
Yep. Hello. Sorry for the late link.
Is my sound working fine?
Your sound's working. I'm just not sure about Craig. He's still sitting in silence over there. I think he's talking to his aunt.
So how's it going?
Oh, good. I was just saying to Craig, it was harvest.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry about the intro there. I'm still playing old intros whilst I get my new ones created there, so you heard Flatsoid talking, but he's not actually here today. With us today, we have the one, the only, the indomitable S.O.M. S.O.M is here to absolutely destroy the globe. Otherwise known as Sizzle Deft, you may have seen him on the channel a couple of times with myself and MC Toon. S.O.M, hello my friend, how the devil are you today? Can you hear me? And of course he's broken his audio. Hello, S.O.M. Hello? Why can't you hear me, my friend? Hello, S.O.M. We just spent ages trying to get him in the chat and in the call, and now he's broken his audio. S.O.M, are you there? Wouldn't be a Flerf without this, would it? Icy Spin 199. S.O.M is the GOAT Prezi presenter. None better. It's Rubik's, the real NASA shill for $2 says, friendly reminder, the FTFE is sponsored by NASA. I am absolutely 100% sponsored by NASA. This is a fact. S.O.M, are you there?
Hey.
Can you hear me? S.O.M.
Let me start everything up. I can't hear you.
Hello. You could hear me just now before you put your headphones on. Oh. He's gone. Where'd he go? Oh my god. He was in the chat, it was in the call, right, and it was all working, all fine. And he had his, I could hear him, he could hear me, and he's like, I'm just going to plug in my headphones and change the audio. And then it went downhill. If only he hadn't done that. He will be back, I'm absolutely sure of it, guys. How are you all doing today? I am doing wonderful myself, you know, because I'm alive, and what more can we want, I guess. We have S.O.M, who's going to be with us, giving us the absolute proof that the globe is dead once he's, you know, figured out his tech. Over the week, we are going to do a couple of things. We are going to start reviewing my debates from DebateCon. But we also have the debate with Kevin's probably not going to happen because Jeranism basically does not want to host him, which is understandable. He's just going to shout angry French things about buildings being curved. But he went on S.O.M's show, Sovereign Soul Unhinged Minds show recently, to talk about his level curve buildings. So we're going to watch that stream to give ourselves some torture. Right, he has seen my message. Let's hope he comes back. Who's this good looking guy? Why is it bluer over there than on here? How you doing, Jaybird, Max, Otto, Steve from Wormhaven, Emma, you cunt, nice to see you. Rachbot, beep, boop. Yes, Joey, it is painful, you're right. No, Taylor didn't rage quit. They broke their tech within 2 minutes of the stream starting. Oh, there he is.
Yo.
Hello, can you hear me? Microphone check. 1, 2, 3. Emma with €5 says, I love you, my favourite cunt. Well, I love you too, you absolute cunt. You are the cuntiest of the cunts. You cunt. Well, we don't have S.O.M. We have S.O.M's empty studio. Someone's also very quiet, so we'll have to sort that out.
Hey.
Hey, can you hear me? Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Can you see me? Are you there? Watching the cogs whir. Hey Max, how you doing? Yeah, Gary, absolutely flying start. You're right, mate. Oh, no, he went again. Oh, my God. Oh, this is brilliant. Max, yeah, I'm totally going to get absolutely wrecked by this genius that is with us today. I mean, what's better than 1 FTFE than 2, right? High five myself if I do this. Wait, okay, hold on. Hey! It's like a portal. I know, Max, you're right. I absolutely don't stand a chance against this guy. I mean, he's just the pinnacle of intelligence, right? Oh, and he's back.
Yeah. Can you get me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Way! We did it!
Oh my. Yeah, I have this sort of Chinese audio interface, so I just switched it off. I'm back to my default. I'm just using the
the
default mic and not the studio mic that I had connected. So I hope I'm loud and clear.
You're loud and clear. We can hear you good. Everyone in the chat, let me know if you can hear the good old S.O.M. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, S.O.M, from all the way over there in where are you? Zambia?
Wakanda.
Wakanda. That's right.
Yep.
Yes, Wakanda. Wakanda. Right. So you are here to destroy the globe, right?
Sure.
Like, is this it? Is this the end of my career? Is this game over?
This is life would be bored boring. From now on, life is going to be a little bit boring. But yeah,
Oh,
it's
right.
game over.
So I'm just gonna have to delete my YouTube channel after this, yeah?
Now you have to convert to flat Earth.
Oh, right. So I'm gonna become a flat Earth YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's some good science in the flat Earth world. I hope your credentials will get you there.
Amazing. I can't wait. Well, in case people haven't seen you before, why don't you just take a minute and introduce yourself? Let people know why you're a flat earther, and then we can get into the evidence that you have for us.
Okay, I'm S.O.M. I recently changed my name to S.O.M Obey. So yeah, that's my music name. I'm a sound engineer, I'm a producer, I'm a musician, and I'm a flat earther. And yeah, so that's much about it. I'm here to debate, and things in life you got to be questioned and bring some enlightenment. There's always that phase in life that you gotta have to look at things and question them. I became a flat earther not just off of YouTube. Yeah, YouTube was a start, but then I started to investigate. At first, I used to laugh at flat earthers and all that, but then I looked deep into it, trying to do my own research, and yeah, so S.O.M is a flat earther here to debate and to bring out enlightenment to the world. Peace. Hope this is gonna be insightful and very enlightening to everybody
Amazing.
that is here. Grab your popcorn. You gotta grab your popcorn.
Right. Cool. Well, I'm excited. I don't know about you guys watching. I hope you're all excited, but get ready to just throw your globes in the bin. You're not going to need them anymore because after this, the Earth is flat, I guess. So, S.O.M, why don't you take it away? Give us the evidence that you have. I'll give you 5-10 minutes to just take us through what you got, and then we can have some discussions about it.
Okay, so I'm in my drive right now. I want to send you some files. So yeah, I've just opened up my PDF. That's gonna help me along the way. Let me just switch off my antivirus. It's making noises here.
Your antivirus is making noises.
Yeah.
It
I
shouldn't
don't
do
know.
that.
NASA's trying to hack in. This enlightenment, it really came a long way.
Your antivirus is making noise. Okay.
Okay, so I'm trying to upload a file, a PDF, to share it with you, of course. And it's coming in about a minute.
All right. Cool. Yep.
So I like my presentation to be seen by everybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could share it on your screen if you're able to do that, or if you'd rather me present it. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'd rather you. Like I haven't been. Okay, yeah. Let me do it. I'll get the hang of it. It's been a while using Zoom. It's been a while. Where do I go?
There's a green button at the bottom that says share screen, that says share. You just click on that and choose what you want to share.
Okay, I'm in my PC, trying to open a PDF. Wow, it's as easy as that. Huh?
Yeah.
So is my screen shareable?
Yeah. If you open the PDF.
I can play videos too, or I send you the videos.
Yeah. Well, it's just show me your files. Yeah. So yeah, just play it. Just click what you want, and it'll bring it up.
Okay, so we're doing this. You can bring up the first point.
Oh no, you do it. You just click on the PDF.
I did.
Oh right, it hasn't shown that screen. It's still just showing your menu.
So where do I go?
Right, stop sharing and then start sharing again, and just choose whole screen.
Okay, stop believing you're flat earther and start believing you're flat earther again. Mix the stuff, okay? How about now?
Yeah, it's just showing us your files rather than what you selected.
So I get to open the PDF in the Zoom, or I'm using Edge Explorer.
Yeah, so if you got the PDF open on your screen.
On my web browser screen.
Yeah, it's not showing that. All right, just send it to me and I'll open it.
Okay, doc. Oh, I have to share Zoom window, huh? Okay. I didn't have it optimized. I think that's why it wasn't sharing.
Right.
I guess it's shared.
My friend Max asks, what software do you use for your music production?
Studio One Presoners.
Nice.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Cubase is overused and Pro Tools is overused as well. But I believe Studio One is unique. It's for unique classic people. You know, it's a classic DAW, if you'd rather, in those terminologies. So I'm a Studio One fan.
Awesome.
There's
Clive Wells, I hear a gang of thieves stole shipping container for the Fred Perry merchandise in Scotland. What are you on about? It's my baseball cap and a shirt. I don't know what you're talking about. Right, I just see like a square right now.
You just see like a square.
Yeah.
Are you able to see this?
Now I see your right. I just see your files.
So let me use. Maybe I can open with Zoom. I don't know.
You should just, whatever is showing on your screen, it should just open. Maybe you, I don't know. Right, just send me that PDF and I will open the PDF for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing it. Just stop sharing and we just do it the other way. There we go. Jack Fair 199 says, we can call my mum if we need support.
Did you just go quiet?
No?
Oh, okay. You did.
Right, yeah. You sending me the PDF on Facebook Messenger?
Yeah, sure. Facebook is saying it's invalid file, so let me do it with Drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Technology, guys, is amazing. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. On Wednesday, we're going to have Jeranism on with the Craig and Toon Show. Thursday, I think we'll do the start of my reviews of my debates at DebateCon. I'm really actually looking forward to going through them. Hello, Dick Wayne in the chat. Mods, Dick Wayne, you know, is having the Vicky treatment. So unless he sends me his an email to come on, he gets timed out. So please, everyone, go ahead and time out Dick Wayne. Emma with €10 says, I need alcohol for this. Yeah, I understand. Right. Here we go. Downloads. PDF. Open file. Okay, right. I'll put you up full screen so people can see.
Got myself full screen too. Okay.
Right. Talk us through your files here and what it says.
I can just see you, so I don't know. Did you share it on YouTube?
Do you want me to share? Okay, one sec. I can show you the actual screen as well. Oh, that's the wrong one. So I have to show you that, and then where'd the PDF go? Can you see it now?
It's really, I can see the letters. I don't know.
Do you see?
Okay.
Do you see it? Okay.
Let me check it on YouTube. I think I can't see the letters.
Oh, okay.
Scribbled up.
Why don't you just read it off of your PDF that you've got? You don't have to read it off of what I'm showing you.
I wanted to go along with the page, but okay, that can work too.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, Emma.
All right,
Good dog, I got
so
weed.
point number one, gravity in vacuum, disproving gravity. So the core of the heliocentric model is gravity, of course, as we all know. Without gravity, there's no globe Earth. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing is centered around gravity. So to disprove the globe Earth, I thought, why not disprove gravity
Oh yeah, brilliant.
first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple
So,
of PhDs in the chat that like work with gravity and stuff, so that'd be interesting for them. They'll have to get a new job.
yeah, so the exact nature of gravity remains a mystery. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a first video that I wanted to show. It's called Air Has Weight Experiment. Let's look at that experiment, then we get back to talking.
File not found.
I just sent you the videos. So there's one which says Air Has Weight Experiment. So I'm trying to
Right. Which one is that?
substitute gravity with air. So everything we know about gravity.
Is that the one with the woman spinning the thing around? Which video is it? You sent me quite a few videos. Which video is it?
Yeah, the one. Oh, you are not able to see the file
No,
names?
when I click on here, it doesn't. It says there's no file. So you just did you send me the videos on Facebook as well?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Which one is it? Is it the
Try to check it in your file folder. That's where you can see the names.
There's no names attached to the ones on Messenger.
Okay, so let me drive you then.
Yeah, just tell me which because you've sent me like a whole bunch. Is it the person getting blown by the wind? Is that the video you're on about?
The one is the weight experiment.
Right. So that's the woman spinning the bucket around on the string, yeah?
No. It's the
No.
one, yeah, no, that one.
This one?
Not that one.
This one?
Yeah, exactly.
This one. Right, okay.
Yes.
Conducted by a German scientist in 1654, where he created two hollow hemispheres that fit tightly together and then removed all the air from inside through the valve. The vacuum inside the hemispheres were held together solely by the surrounding atmospheric pressure. 16 horses couldn't even pull it apart. Once the valve was open to let the air in, it easily separated. The world's first experiment that proved that air has weight. Yes. Yeah.
It's the end. It's the end of the video.
Yeah. Oh, what? You want me to play the whole thing as yeah, no, yeah, that's the whole one. That's it all. We've watched the whole thing.
Yeah. So what we're trying to look at here is saying you can conduct this experiment when you put buckets inside as well. Try to pull it, and then So when vacuums are created, there's no air in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Same as in space, for example. So let's just ignore weight, because we know air has got weight, and that doesn't prove. The experiment itself is talking about weight, but I'm just trying to use this video.
Yep. Air has weight. So, right. Yep. Cool. Okay.
So air has is got it puts factors in the world as we know it, because without air there's no gravity, right?
Now is that weight or is that space weight?
What the air?
Yeah.
So there's no air in space, so
right. So it's not space weight. It's just normal weight then, right? Okay. I just had to check. That's all.
It's air weight.
Air weight, right? So it's not weight. It's air weight, right? Cool. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So a vacuum is space devoid of matter, in short. Yeah. The matter being air that we are concentrating on.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere has pressure, and by removing this pressure inside the pressure inside, the outside pressure presses to balance the pressure difference, right? So let's replace gravity with pressure. Okay.
Let's replace gravity with pressure. Cool.
Yes. Let's just pretend the thing we know as gravity is air.
Sorry, say that once more.
The thing we know as gravity is air.
Once again.
The thing we know as gravity is air.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That's a good clip out of that. No worries. Okay, carry on.
So why do I say so? Say the weight of all the air in the world bearing down on that vacuum that we just saw. If you took that vacuum container to space, you could pull it apart without ever letting air back in. So safe to say, air exerts pressure on objects, on matter.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So think about water. If you fill a football with water inside, would it weigh more?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So air is matter, and matter has weight.
Yep.
So the fact that,
air is made of matter. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm following.
yeah. So it's the work of balance to me. Air can press a stone down, which is also matter. So let's not pretend it's gravity. It's air pressing down on the stone.
So it's not gravity.
It's not.
It's
not
air. So
it's
air is
gravity. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I think some PhDs in my chat just had aneurysms. I do apologize, guys. Oh, yeah, guys, if you've had your facepalm protection, make sure you're using it, please. This is a dangerous one.
It's getting better. This is just the basics.
This is just the basics, right? Okay.
Yeah. There's no gravity in space because it's a vacuum. Okay?
There's no air in space. Yeah, okay, I've got that.
There's no gravity in space because it's a vacuum.
There's no Right, no, because air is gravity, so then there's no air in space, so therefore there's no gravity. Right. Okay, yeah, I'm following.
There is no gravity in space because it's a vacuum. Yeah. Whenever you create a vacuum and you're inside, there's no gravity. So vacuums, what's the definition of a vacuum?
An area slightly of lower pressure than a different area.
Yeah, it's not just any pressure, but gas. Okay. So the fact that we do not have gravity in space due to lack of air, then what is gravity?
Yeah.
Air.
Yeah. So, okay, right. So just to clarify, I'm following here.
Yep.
Air is gravity, and because there's no air in space, because space is a vacuum, therefore there's no gravity in space because there's no air.
Absolutely. That's by my analogy.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We're getting there. Let's just watch a next video. We've got places.
Which is the next
places,
one?
We've got places
floating
on
stones.
Earth.
Floating stones.
Yeah,
right.
floating
Okay.
stones.
I'm sure we can find the floating stones video.
Yeah.
This one here.
Nah, you lost it. Yeah, you're a good guy. You're a good guy. Puzzles. You're good at puzzles. So this is on Earth. The presence of everything we know. Air. So that's a floating stone. These exist in places like India. There you go.
Stones that float, yes.
Yeah, stones that float. You know why that stone is floating?
Magic?
It's got holes in it.
It's got holes in it, yeah.
And those allow air to pass through.
Right.
You take a solid rock with no holes in it, throw it in there, and it's definitely going to sink.
But I thought you said that air was gravity. And if there's air inside the rock, should it not go down? If it's got more air in, and which means more gravity? I mean, I'm just following along with your logic here, of course.
Yeah, so air is composed of oxygen and nitrogen. So 70% of it is nitrogen. And should be 21% is oxygen. So which has got more oxygen between water and air. Where do we have more oxygen?
Okay, right, I'm following. Yep.
Yeah. So what you see there is nitrogen being repelled rather by oxygen.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so sorry. So when the stones go in the water, we're seeing nitrogen being repelled by oxygen,
Yes.
and that's why it
That's why it floats. These stones don't float in still water. W-
Right. Okay. That I guess that makes a complete and utter sense.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if there is a presence of gravity, why would it matter that the water is moving or it's not? Or if the water is disturbed or stirred? Because once the water is stirred or disturbed, that is when the oxygen and then the nitrogen repel each other. Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
It's
So
just the logic's impeccable. I guess.
that's just one example.
Right.
So solid rocks, they they sink. Rocks with holes, they don't sink. So why would it affect the gravity if gravity is not air?
Right. So more holes means more air, which means more gravity, which means it floats.
Which means more atmospheric friction.
Sorry. So there's more atmospheric friction whilst the stone's in the water, and that's why it floats.
Because air does not penetrate solid objects.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, simple.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So once that happens, air penetrating a solid object and then gravity ceases to exist, that don't make sense.
I agree with you 100% that what you just said makes no sense.
It does make sense, and I just showed you a video.
Yeah, no, I was just agreeing
Yeah.
with you.
So moving along, the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level is approximately what?
It's approximately 14.7 psi.
Yes, in psi. So this represents the weight of a column of air above a unit area of Earth's surface. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So while often approximated as 1 kg
Yeah.
per centimeter square. So the actual value is slightly higher though. So a centimeter square is a unit of area measurement. Okay, it's defined as the area of a square that is 1 centimeter long on each side, and it has that amount of psi.
Sorry, it has how much psi?
14.
Right. Okay.
And that's on the sea level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's on sea level. So the higher you go, the less effect gravity has on you because there's less air.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, so why would gravity be dependent on altitude?
Yeah.
If the moon is in alignment with the earth, why would gravity be dependent on altitude?
Right. This is again on the assumption that air is gravity.
Gravity. Yeah.
And because there's less air the higher you go up, you're saying that means there's less
Drag.
Gravity. Yeah. Hey, just a quick question. If I said to you Fg equals gm1 m2 over r squared, would you know what that meant?
F what?
Fg equals gm1 m2 over r squared.
I used to know what that meant, but
Uh-huh.
most of the crap is I deleted it.
Right. So the equations for gravity you've just gone. Okay, cool.
That's the equation for gravity. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it implies
Okay.
that the force created by gravity is proportional to the product of two or more masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So, of course, altitude would have an effect on the gravitational acceleration, and it's kind of is why the pressure is less. But please
No,
do continue.
per centimeter squared, the psi is 14. That's at sea level.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So if I fall out of um a parachute at 30,000 miles, then I shouldn't fall according to gravity.
Sorry, say that again. If you fall out of a plane at how many miles?
30,000 miles
So if you're
above
30,000
sea level,
miles above sea level, I mean, I don't know
according to gravity.
I don't know if planes fly 30,000 miles above the Earth, but I mean, yeah, okay.
That's still in the Earth's atmosphere, right? Or
No,
let's say,
I mean, the 30,000 miles is
what's
is quite
what's
it's
the
quite high up.
furthest a commercial airline can fly? What's the
Well,
furthest?
certainly not 30,000 miles. Maybe like 30,000 feet.
Yeah, I just converted feet to miles. Yeah, my bad. So at 30,000 feet, according to gravity, I should just float in air.
Right. So at 30,000 feet, according to gravity, you should float.
According to that equation, just gave up.
So according to Fg equals gm1 m2 over r squared, at 30,000 feet, you should float.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool haircut though. Yeah, all credit goes to gravity. I
Yeah,
like your
cool.
cap though, man.
So I had to take my ring off to do that. That's tungsten carbide.
Yeah, so it's not gravity, it's air.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. But please do
because
continue.
if I fall from that altitude, I'll start falling slow. And the closer I get to sea level, I begin to accelerate.
I mean, you accelerate as soon as you leave the plane. That's what
Yeah, but that
speeding up is.
acceleration, yeah. So the more air, the more
I mean, you once you reach terminal
the rate.
velocity, you actually decrease in speed the closer you get to the ground. But again, I'm not here to interrupt your thoughts. I'm loving your presentation, S.O.M. You are the only flat earther that ever brings. I don't want to say this is evidence, but
This is not just
you bring it. S.O.M, you bring it. What it
This is not just
we're
the
not
thought
entirely
action.
sure.
This is not just a thought action.
Right. Okay. So right. So there we
So,
go.
yeah.
So at 30,000 feet, according to gravity, you should float.
You should
Gravity
float.
is air. Right.
Yeah. So moving around, that's the force of air. So pressure is what holds the moon around the Earth. Okay. According to my conclusion.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
Pressure is what holds the moon around Earth. Because there's a pressure differential.
Amsterdam.
Okay. Is the moon within the Earth's atmosphere or it's in space?
Well, everything's in space.
Yeah.
Get back in the fucking car, Morty. The moon's definitely not in Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah. So that there's a pressure difference there. And that's what holds the moon to the Earth.
Sorry. There's a pressure field that holds the moon to the Earth.
Yeah. So
those were the words you said, right?
These are the ways I'm telling you. That's assuming the moon is actually that further away because our flat Earth, moon, is not that further up. So this also doesn't work, because if air is gravity, then how does the moon hold up at
Yeah,
that
yeah, absolutely.
distance?
I agree with you. If air is gravity, how does the moon hold up? That's
How does it hold up that further away, unless if it has its own atmosphere?
sorry. What about feathers now?
The moon has its own atmosphere, its own air.
The moon has its own air.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
that gap, that point, that difference, that barrier,
Yeah, right.
the what barricades the two atmospheres?
Right. Sorry, what barricades the two atmospheres, did you say?
Yeah, the Earth atmosphere and the moon's atmosphere.
I don't know what the word barricade means.
What segments? Sure.
All right. So what
'Cause-
keeps
'cause
the
you-
what keeps the moon's air gravity pressure separate from Earth's air gravity? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the pressure there, that repel effect is what holds up the moon
The
to
repel
the Earth.
effect.
But
Sorry, the repel effect. What's the repel
yeah,
effect?
so the oxygen repels nitrogen in the air.
Oxygen repels nitrogen in the air. Yeah.
Yes, nitrogen repels oxygen. So that's the repel effect I'm referring to.
I'm
That's
sorry.
what I came.
I
Yeah.
may have zoned out, or had a stroke. Not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure you're trying to tell me that the atmosphere has a repulsion effect caused by nitrogen and oxygen not liking each other, and that's what keeps the moon in the sky.
Absolutely, you got it. Now,
Guys, I've become a Flerf translator.
this not only occurs within the nitrogen and oxygen of the Earth's atmosphere, but also the nitrogen and oxygen of the moon's atmosphere.
Right.
So we don't know what levels.
The fact that the moon has air
Its own
gravity,
atmosphere.
right, and that air gravity consists of oxygen and nitrogen, which don't play nice and push each other away. That
At
is
a
also
different level.
pushing the away from the fact that the Earth's air gravity nitrogen oxygen fight is pushing itself away at a different rate, right?
But they sort of like each other
They sort of like
and
each other.
and not like each other at the same time. So it's like I would set this analogy. It's like in a relationship. You say it's over, you get back. Okay, that's what happens.
Okay. Please help. Right, so pressure is what holds the moon to Earth. So, wow. This
Wowza.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
okay.
it's right there. So moving along, air pressure causes sun and moon to hover around the Earth. That's according to my flat version.
Whoa. Please say those words again.
So air pressure causes sun and moon to hover around the Earth. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was just checking that's what I heard you say. Right, okay.
That's indeed what so in the flat Earth model, we've got the sun and the moon hovering, not orbiting, but hovering around the Earth.
Yeah.
Just above it.
Uh-huh.
So the air pressure is what causes that to happen. So the
air pressure, which is more down,
which is more oxygen and nitrogen,
and causes the sun and the moon to hover up where there is no air pressure.
The distance of the sun and the moon in the flat Earth model is not that much further away.
How
So
much
the
is
moon
it?
and the sun, there's just not more than 2,000 miles.
Right, and
Yeah.
and you
Just
think
somewhere 2,000, 3,000 miles.
and there's
Just
air
within that range.
pressure at 2,000 miles above the surface of Earth?
Yeah,
Oh, there is. Right.
there is. Yeah.
1 second. Hello,
So
Google.
it's a dome.
Google, yeah.
It's a dome.
Everything
And
you've
within-
got on the internet is wrong.
Everything within
Yeah.
within the
Sorry,
dome
1 second, Sam. I'm just on the
is
phone to Google.
air
Yeah.
pressurized.
Yeah. No, look, like everything. No, just you have to change the lot. You know, all your
It's a
searches are gonna
dome.
have to go different. There's a dome. He
It's
says.
a dome.
All right.
It's a dome.
Yeah. Update Wikipedia as well. It's gonna have to. All right. Thanks, mate. Speak to you later. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just getting Google to update everything. So air pressure causes the sun and moon to hover around the Earth. The atmospheric pressure around us is 14.7 psi at sea level, right?
That's according to science. But
Well, according to reality,
it could be
that's just
more.
what it's
It
not.
could be. It could be more.
I've measured it everywhere that I've ever been, and it's always been 14.7 psi.
Using your tools, the fine-tuned tools that showing you that you want to measure something and you create a tool that is limited, it's gonna do the exact same thing that you limited
That's what tools
to
are.
do.
Tools don't tell you what you want to know; they tell you what.
They do. A rule, 30 centimeters, is gonna measure 30 centimeters.
It's better be good weed.
Yeah. Nothing more or less. It's gonna measure 30 centimeters, unless if you want to do it less. But it's not gonna go above that 30 centimeters that man crafted it to do. So moving along. Yeah, the atmospheric pressure around us is about, according to science, conventional science, is 14.7 pounds per square inch at sea level. So the surrounding atmospheric pressure holds everything in place. Air exerts pressure. So air's existence has the ability to exert force, which is a key characteristic of mass, not gravity. So we've got atmospheric friction, we've got thrust caused in this air. And air pressure and balance, that's what it is, not gravity. So air equilibrium against within all sorts of matter, solid, liquid, then there's air. So gravity is a lie. If you follow my thesis very well.
I follow it perfectly, but I have one question. What if gravity is the thing that's causing the pressure? Because gravity affects everything with mass. Air has mass.
It can't.
So is it possible that the air pressure is a result of the gravitational attraction?
So to answer your question, I can give you an example of a rocket, right? So as it sets from its pad, what happens is propulsion, right?
Yeah.
So that propulsion is more of steering the air around. Okay.
The propulsion is about steering the air around.
Around it, yes.
I don't know if
No,
you know what propulsion
that's how
means.
propulsion, like, what do these what example can I give? A jet engine,
Right.
it propels. That's the propulsion I mean.
Well, yeah, it
Well,
propels
yeah,
by forcing air through it and out the
Yeah,
back with
my-
combustion,
Yeah,
creating
so
a difference in pressure.
yeah, exactly. So
do you know
in
how
a rocket,
rockets make thrust, by any chance?
through combustion,
Yeah, and what does that combustion do?
it creates thrust
How?
by, like I say, there's a propulsion there. It's steering the air around,
It's steering the air around. Okay.
and in that air is oxygen and nitrogen. They don't like each other, but again, they like each other.
Oh, right. So the rockets are also using the air and the nitrogen repulsion effect to go up
Exactly, which is why it's a
Oh.
myth. Rockets don't move in space. The ISS doesn't move in space
Okay.
because there is little to no air, and we'll get to that.
Okay, right.
We're
So
debunking that everything. We are not living tables untamed tonight.
so it's not possible at all that the gravitational attraction of the Earth acting along with the mass of the air is creating a pressure that is more
Yeah.
towards the ground and less away from the ground because it's inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Nothing to do with that at all. Okay, of course. So I'm going to catch up on super chats. Guys, thank you very much for being here. 500 watching. Make sure you smash that like button because if you don't, I will in fact send Daniel Pratt directly to your home. Jubilee Deluxe has been a member for 11 months, says, I came home from the pub for this. I want to go back. Just go to the pub
I wish I
and
was
get them to
reading
put it on.
the comments.
The Turtle Moves for £5 says, Facebook says the file is invalid. Was he trying to send you flat earth proof? Yeah, that's never valid. Dave McKeegan for £2. Should we name debate to stating the obvious? Yeah, you know the way this goes around debate, don't you, Dave? Jack Fetter 199 says, if you stand in a vacuum chamber, you're not weightless. What do you think about that, Sam?
It depends who created the vacuum. Because human vacuums, they are not 100%. Like, you can't manage to pull out all the air. There's no technology.
Right.
Only God is that technology.
So you think that if you're in a perfect vacuum, you would be weightless?
What is weight? What's the definition of weight?
Well, okay, so you stand on a scale, right? And says...
Weight, according to flat earth, weight is balance.
Right.
The balance is matter.
Okay, but you're saying that air is gravity, right? So let's say we stand on a scale and that scale says 80 kilograms, okay?
Yep.
Now you take air out of that room as much as possible, like to make it as much as a vacuum that we can. How come that scale still says around the same?
That's impossible. Change. That's practical impossible. You can't go into a vacuum and not implode.
What?
Because you've got air in your bloodstream and your body's compromised.
Let's just say
it's matter. It can't happen. It's
right. Let's just say we take 100 kilogram bag of sand, right? We put 100 kilogram bag of sand on a scale.
It's a comic
and it weighs
fiction.
100 kilograms, and then we take the air out of that room. How come it still would weigh 100 kilograms?
You come again?
I didn't come once. If you put a bag of sand on a scale and it reads 100 kilograms, but then you take the air out of that room, the scale still weighs 100 kilograms.
What does the scale measure? There are different kind of
it
types
measures the
of
weight,
scales.
Which is mass times gravity.
No, there's a scale which measures gas, air.
Well, no, this scale is measuring weight. It's measuring the weight that you stand on.
It's going to do what it's measuring.
Yeah.
So as long as the sand,
saying the air
sand
is gravity,
is solid.
If you're saying the air is gravity, you take the air out of that room, there should be no gravity, but the weight on the scale doesn't change.
Show me an experiment of extracting gas out of solid mass of sand.
I never said you could. What?
Yeah, so
you're
measuring.
It's like talking to a brick wall.
You're confusing.
Particularly dumb.
What
Emma
weight
says for €10. Hot damn! That must be the smartest Flerf I've ever seen.
Comic
War
fictions.
Boss. Hey, dude, good to see you. He's been over for 26 months. Says, oh yeah, Hume git. Say air is gravity. What in Grok's green name? If a squig or shooter fall into the same vacuum, then the air ain't doing zoggle. Dave
is that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Says, I'm suing you, Craig. No protection can help here. Art Prairie's been a member for 3 months. Says, so all I need to do to lose weight is fart. Apparently so, my friend.
That's a different. What? How many types of weights do you know?
How many types of weights?
I'm not talking about the gym, because clearly you and I don't go to the gym.
Excuse me, I go to the gym 5 days a week. Thank you very much.
Which gym? Is it gym? JIM? Gym?
I go to gym 64 in particular. I'm jacked as fuck, mate. What are you talking about?
And the weight lifting you. You know lifting the weight, buddy.
Do you not see this?
What's that? That's a molecule. It's a molecule of,
Yeah. Those are fucking arms and chest today. My triceps are killing me.
I don't know. Science
what do you mean you and I don't go to the gym? I go to the gym 5 days a bloody week, you douche.
When we go and stand on a scale, I'm going to talk about this precisely. When you go and stand on a scale, a human body is comprised of all matters.
Yeah.
You comprise of solid, liquid, and gas. So what is the scale measuring? Which is
The
it measuring all
scale is
three?
measuring the
All
mass
three?
of your body and everything in it times the acceleration of gravity. That's what weight is. Weight is defined as mass times gravity.
So
And
you just
that gravity doesn't change when your air pressure changes.
You just hunted yourself down. Let's take that into the vacuum. So that scale
What?
is measureless in the vacuum, right? So gravity is air.
Rotation
You just
curve in the
proved it.
chat.
You just proved it.
Some rotation
Gravity
curve
is
in the
air.
chat says that you and I have to do a push-up contest.
You and I, yeah.
How many push-ups can you do?
I was once into martial art. I used to do about 40 genuine push-ups.
Go on then.
Not Cristiano Ronaldo kind. No, this is African type of push-up. Okay, this is no Chinese martial art push-up. Okay, this is the level push-up. This is a black man push-up.
Okay.
So you don't stand a chance.
Wait, sorry. Black man push-ups are different to white man push-ups?
That's not what I say. Those words are coming from you.
Okay. Warboss, 10 Canadian dollars says, Oi, boss, how's your brain holding up? This Flerf looking extra crispy dumb today. You doing all right? Still watching you smash it. Don't want you going full squig mad from the stupid. Cheers, Warboss.
That's a Disney voice. They're all about Disney.
He's an orc. That's how they talk.
Heads up.
Jimmy Madison, 42 for $5 says, Craig gets the tongue biting award for the week. No way could I do what you're doing right now. Amazing restraint. I'm struggling, friend.
Heads up. I'm dropping a comment.
Please do. Psylocke for $2. We're actually fucked as a species. It really is over. You're not wrong. Jack Fetter 499 says air is 1, air is gravity, 2, space is the vacuum, 3, pressure holds moon to earth. What the fuck? I wish I had a floating rock to bash myself.
Air is 1, air is gravity, 2, space is the vacuum, 3, pressure holds moon to earth. What the fuck? I wish I had a floating rock to bash myself.
Why can I hear myself all of a sudden, S.O.M?
I can hear that too. Should it be on your end?
It's coming from you.
I can hear that too. Oh, it's my phone. Sorry.
Ah,
I
right.
was on YouTube. Trying to drop a comment on YouTube.
Mike Goatkiller 199 says, why did this guy not win top left? Well, he might win next year at this rate. FPV XTC 799. Oh my god, Craig, how can you deal with this level of stupidity? I've got to get back to work. Have fun. Thank you very much.
It's not. That's denying to agree.
Yeah, you're right.
After the show,
I agree with you, Sam.
you're gonna go and do your own thesis in line with mine, and you might just get some. That's how Isaac. Oh,
Emma the Cunt €5 says, who else is fantasizing about Craig taking off his shirt and doing push-ups to make this debate less painful?
where would be the best place to do push-ups? You and I.
Well, I do them in this room normally quite often.
I would love to do it in ground zero. Is there a
Joseph
place
Burke,
equator?
member for 16 months, says, next time Craig debates S.O.M, I'm bringing LSD because apparently I need chemically enhanced perception just to follow along. Icy Spin, member for 20 months, how do the planets and stars have predictable orbits without holding them in orbit? I want to learn, but I fear your brain is far superior to mine.
Orbit. We make beats like orbit.
Just so
I'm
you
not
know,
a rapper,
in
I'm
the
a
chat
singer.
is PhD Tony, a friend
So
of mine.
flat out.
There's someone in the chat called PhD Tony, good friend of mine. His job is to work with gravity, and he's been crying ever since you started talking. So anyway, we got to air, pressure, and balance, not gravity. Air equilibrium against, within, all sort of matter. Gravity is a lie.
My comment was so long, and this has got a limit, so I'm gonna just do a double comment. So.
Oh right, sorry, you're still writing your comment. I see.
I'm done writing my comment. So moving along. We're on number 2 now.
Yes.
So, but we've been talking about air. What is air? So let's get an in-depth of air.
Right. Well, so quickly though, the question was, how do the planets and stars have predictable orbits without air holding them in orbit?
I believe all the planets, like the air, they have their own atmospheres, right?
Right. So So the other planets and stars have their own atmospheres that are repelling against ours.
You say the shape of the Earth is round because it mimics other planets. So, what are the degrees? What are the chances that they wouldn't have their own atmospheres as well, according to your science?
Yeah. No, we know most things don't. Okay, right. Okay, carry on. So,
There's life in Mars,
yeah, of course, robot life.
according to your science.
Guys, thank you very much for the support so far. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like button as S.O.M gets into the second part of his presentation. Facepalm protection at the ready. In fact, I think I need to issue, I don't do this very often, guys, but I'm issuing a Facepalm Omega level warning, which, means no legal ramifications can be put towards me. So make sure you're protected. S.O.M, over to you. Number 2, air in depth. I'm excited.
Okay, so in depth, yeah. Let's get along some enlightenment. This is free enlightenment, by the way. It's rare. I'm a rare gem. So yeah, you got it from me. 2025 AD. So air in depth. Note. Let's take a note here. Air is an invisible mixture of gases. So earlier, air only became real in the minds of men with the invasion of chemistry and physics. It's in the mind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, air is mostly composed of nitrogen. It makes about approximately 78% of the atmosphere. So oxygen follows closely, making up about 21%. So nitrogen and oxygen repel each other. They are not best of friends, like we earlier stated. We can look at that illustration. There's a video, and let's just get to understand what is air, and then we can.
Which one was it?
If we can replace it with gravity, or all along, it has been gravity. So no volume.
YouTube, no, don't want to get any copyright issues. So
cool. I just did credits there. So if you credit someone,
what is happening here?
So this was audio based. So it's just trying to that's helium and oxygen. Sure. So there's the repel effect.
But it's not nitrogen.
It's helium, even helium. And there's also nitrogen, all types of elements. The periodic table gets an update. They've been updating the periodic table. I don't know. Science is not complete. There's helium.
So is this the kind of thing you normally get your science from, is it?
No, that's just the best illustration that I got.
Right, right.
Yeah. YouTube, and it doesn't, it's not under copyright, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I get so much copyright at the moment, I need to just be a bit careful.
Yeah, so now we'll have an understanding of what air is. It's comprised of it's just simply air is gases, just a bunch of gases, like the USA.
Yeah, air is a bunch of gases. I will agree with that statement. That air is a bunch of gases, 100%.
So if I was to explain air to someone in the easiest of ways, I would just say air and the USA. The USA is different races and people. Yeah.
Air is the USA.
Air is the USA version of in simple. Yeah, so let's just think of it like that. It's gases, but the main gases are nitrogen and oxygen. And that, my friend, is gravity.
Wait, what's gravity?
Air.
Right. Again, though, there's no air up as you go up. So let's say you go to 2 miles up. There's no air.
2 miles up, there's no air.
well, more than 2. All right, let's go 100
I
miles
just
up.
said air
Right, but
is a
hold
combination
on.
of
You
different
said
gases.
the sun and the moon are about 2,000 miles up, right? But at 10 miles up, at 50 miles up, there's 100
There's no
miles up,
oxygen.
the air gets less and less and less. 100 miles up, there's no air.
There's
So
no
how
oxygen.
can there be air repelling
there
the
is
other
air.
atmosphere?
There is air, but there's no oxygen. So
There's no. When you go up,
One-
let's say go up 100 miles, there's
you
no
go up
air.
100 kilometers, you're gonna lose that 21% of oxygen, but still maintain
Well, no. Some listen to what I'm saying,
of
bud.
nitrogen.
But some
Yep.
listen to what I'm saying. At 100 miles up, there's no air.
100 miles up.
Yeah, right. There's no air. But you said the sun and the moon are about 2,000 miles up, being repelled by our atmosphere. There's no air at 2,000 miles up to repel anything, even under your frankly batshit
Gas.
crazy assertions.
Gas has no shape. Gas, like liquid, it
No,
follows the shape of.
no. Hello.
So
Some listen to the words I'm saying, my friend. At 2,000 miles up, which is your assumption of where the sun and the moon are, there is no air. Therefore, there
it could be
no,
more, it could be less.
No, there is none.
Nobody has been 2,000 miles there all day, all year, 365.
There's
not
no
knowing
air,
where
dude. There's no
complete-
air at 2,000 miles up. There is no
So
air
it's
at
space.
2,000 miles up.
So 2,000 miles is space.
Well, yeah, 2,000 miles above the surface of the Earth is definitely space.
Okay, let's agree. And why would the sun and the moon need the air to
But
survive?
but you said this the air is what's keeping them up because it's repelling them. But there is no air up there.
You know what a fan, I give you an example of a fan, what the fan does, right? In the room, you have less air, it starts spinning. There's that,
Fans?
yeah.
There's no
There's
what
that-
fan? There's no fan.
No, I'm getting there. Okay. You have less air in the room, but what does the fan do? It creates,
No, it doesn't create air. It moves it.
but what do we have more, if you feel, there's
Yeah,
more air.
There's no. It doesn't make more air. A fan just moves the air that is in the room around.
So, let's take for instance, air is let's use people, right? There are 50 people here, and a football field, for example, you go 30 yards, there are 3 people, another 30 yards, there's just 1 person. So those are the air molecules that we're talking about. What a fan does, it moves those molecules, and then they become evenly spaced, or they were evenly spaced, and then they become closely compacted, right? So what I'm trying to say is when the sun and the moon hovers, it creates that, that fan.
But there's no air up there.
It creates air as it
What
moves
creates?
to give
There's no. How can what's creating air?
thrust.
What?
The sun creates its own thrust.
The sun
Atmos-
creates. But thrust
There's
isn't
atmospheric-
air. Where does the
there's
air
atmospheric-
come from? Where? Right. Right.
Atmospheric friction.
Some. Listen, my friend. Your
Atmospheric
claim is
friction.
that. Some. Just listen. Your claim
Yes.
is that the sun and the moon are held
they
above
move.
us. No, just listen for 1 second. Your claim is that the sun and the moon are held above us by the repulsion effect of their atmosphere versus our atmosphere.
Yeah.
But there is no air at 2,000 miles up to be able to repel anything. Not that that's how it works anyway.
As the sun moves, it creates atmospheric friction.
Against what though?
You just gave an example. In a room, there's no air. You switch on the fan, it moves the air. It creates it.
But no, it
Where does
doesn't. It
air-
doesn't create
where
air.
does
It
air-
doesn't create air. It just the air that's already in the room is moved around by the fan. But there is no air. There is no air up there to be moved around.
You cannot detect the air because when you're there,
Oh,
the
it's
sun
air,
is
but you
not.
can't detect it. Right.
Yeah, it as the sun is moving, it
Oh
creates
my lord.
atmospheric friction, and there's thrust. So where it goes, it's creating its own, That's the best explanation I can give for now. I've never been there, but this,
No.
I think
Oh,
it's
ow, I
workable.
bit my finger too hard. JSS Tiger
It's
£5
workable.
says, what is this thing called where they're extremely confident and extremely wrong? Dunning-Kruger. Emma for €2 says, Duraplaw. I think that's Klingon. Stylock, $5. Oh god, I just realised that the worst part about this is that tomorrow we're going to see CC and Flatsoid making videos about how brilliant this is.
Top
Guys,
left.
if you have questions for our guests, please make sure to get them in. Super chats obviously get priority,
Here.
but you know it's very hard for me to keep an eye on the rest of the
I'm
chat
here
and
to
everything as
answer
well.
and to remedy.
OG Yeti $2 says Craig needs a reset. I think I've got a button at the back that could. Right, okay, let's go again. Right, Som, your genius knows no bounds. Please continue. And, oh, wise one, tell us what we need to know.
Moving on. Insight number 3.
Number 3.
Insight number 3.
The structure of the Earth and why air
Air
is
is
gravity.
gravy. So not
Sorry, air
the
is
layers
gravy.
of the eighth. Air is gravy. You don't need, you need that rice with some gravy.
What? Sorry, you don't put rice with gravy?
Well, I don't know, by your tradition, what do you put? We mix rice
Oh,
with
right, yeah, you call just your base sauce like gravy, don't you? Yeah, gravy over here is like a meat, like stock, basically.
Oh, yeah. Gravy over here is like soup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on. Structure of the eighth and why air is gravity. So, the layers of the eighth are measured indirectly using seismic waves generated by earthquakes. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Sorry. The layers of the Earth are measured indirectly using seismic waves generated by earthquakes. Okay, right, okay.
Yeah. So these waves travel through the air, and their travel times, speeds, and directions are analyzed to determine the structure and composition of the different layers.
Okay.
It's not to suggest this is accurate how air is structured. Okay, nobody has been there to the bottomless pit, and it's not to suggest this is accurate. Okay.
Right. Right. So we're saying that the entire science of seismology isn't accurate.
Yeah, because they say how do they measure this? It's through earthquakes, right?
It's inference.
Yeah.
Not just earthquakes, other methods, but you know, it's inference using scientific understanding that gets better and better all the time. Yes.
Or it gets better and better all the time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when we dissect the eighth, okay, looking at the structure. So scroll down a bit. Okay. So the structure of the eighth has got layers. Okay. The one that I want to focus on the most is the upper mantle. Okay.
Okay.
Of the 4 layers, but let's look at no, there are more layers, but let's look at the upper mantle.
Okay, go ahead.
Because the crust is where we can do everything, mine, all this and that. But let's look at the mantle. This is supposedly, might be gravity. Though gravity is not a rock, but I'm sure some science way back did suggest it's kind of crazy stuff. So the 4 most abundant elements in the upper mantle are silicon and our dear, humble, life-saving oxygen, magnesium and iron. I'm so glad that oxygen found itself in that mantle.
You know, oxygen is like toxic as fuck.
How could you, Mr. Oxygen? Oxygen is toxic? Unless you say pure oxygen, maybe.
Yeah. You seen what oxygen does to metal? That's bad.
Yeah. Rust and all that.
Do you know that everyone that's ever breathed oxygen has died?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Breathe it at your own peril, mate. You know, I'm just saying. Everyone that's ever inhaled oxygen, they've died.
And everybody who's ever breathed oxygen survived. So moving on. So these elements, together with our dear oxygen. So the elements are mostly found in the form of mineral oxides. True? So again,
they're found in what? Sorry.
They are found in form of mineral oxides in the mantle.
Mineral oxides.
Yeah.
Uh, Oxides aren't air. Like rust is like oxide. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not air.
It's caused by oxygen.
Yeah, but oxygen isn't air. It's just one of the components of
Air. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The oxygen is also found in the mantle. And where is gravity? It's believed that gravity is at the core of the Earth, right?
No,
Where does it come from?
the mass of the Earth, not the
Educate
core.
us.
No, I don't know where this idea of gravity comes from the core is from. No, that's wrong. Gravity
Science
is
gets better.
No,
Science keeps
science has
getting
never
better
said
and
that.
better.
Science has never
Science
said that
used to believe.
Science has never said that gravity comes from the core. Gravity is a product of the Earth's mass.
I
The
learned that in
entire
school.
Earth, not the core.
Grade 3.
The entire
Grade 3.
Earth.
Grade 3. They changed the syllabus.
No, they didn't. They never said that gravity came from the core. That's never been a thing.
We read the wrong books here, man. The indoctrination is harsh on us here. Oof. Yeah, so moving on. So I'm just glad that in the mantle we've got oxygen, and we're talking about gravity here. And it's believed gravity comes from the mass of the Earth.
Yeah, not the core, just the mass of the entire Earth.
Yeah, and the entire mass of the Earth is compromised with oxygen.
No, there's a very small portion of the mass of the Earth is oxygen.
It doesn't matter. One man can change the world.
What?
One man can change the world.
But,
So
okay, lovely affirmation, but what's that got to do with anything?
In minute, you said oxygen is in a small proportion, right? So
yeah, it's like, you know, it's like a 0.00000% of the Earth's mass is made up of oxygen.
Do you know what 0.5 mils of mercury can do? You create an atomic. So it's not proportion versus degree of, its effect to the environment and all. Rust, we just talked about rust. How can 21% versus nitrogen can wear out metal? Oxygen does wear out metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not about the proportion. And those proportions are only scientifically measured. They could be more, they could be less. That's what science says.
All right, okay, please continue.
Cry, son, cry. Truth tears you down.
Yeah, no, believe me, it's not the truth that's making me cry. My brain is sad. It is currently trying to escape out of my right ear. If I didn't have this in, my brain would be climbing out and running away. In fact, it would be packing its suitcase, looking at me and saying, "You're a fucking dick," and walking out of that door. This is the only thing stopping that happening.
I can only agree that you've spent so much time, so many years, digesting these books and all your belief, you've believed this for so long, and someone is trying to test it. It's gonna take a whole Craig.
Look, in 20 minutes, Doom the Dark Ages comes out. I've got a choice. I could continue talking to you, or I could play Doom the Dark Ages.
No, if you play Doom the Dark Ages, people are only going to say, whoa, this dude was bringing the truth, and you just bluffed it. Did you read above the footer of my slide what it's saying? Just slide above the footer of the header.
Do what now?
The ones in scroll above the ones in orange. What does it say?
In orange?
Yeah. Oh, it's not edited. Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me catch up on the super chats. Icy Spin 199 says, "S.O.M, who's your Papa Flerf?"
Okay, there is a saying. There is a great saying, and I'll share it with you right now. It says, what's the saying again? I think I forgot it. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, we're just wondering, who's your Papa Flerf? Who is the flat earther that taught you stuff?
No, I have no flat earther. I used to to think Neil deGrasse was flat earther.
You used to think that Neil deGrasse Tyson was a flat earther.
Yeah, he's the only guy, and he was the only guy.
Okay, the Turtle Moose, £2 says, ow, please make it stop, I understand. Jooms, €2, $2 sorry, says, can he give us a brief explanation of free energy?
The problem is that you understand. You need to understand.
I need to understand. Right, S.O.M, can you
Yeah.
explain free energy to us?
Free energy, yeah. Okay, that's on the slide. Sorry, I went.
Oh, we're going to get there, are we? Right, okay, all right.
We're gonna get there. Just yeah.
Right, well, Emma, for
experience
€20, says, this is all the Flerf dope I can take in 1 month. Sorry, bye, Craig, stay awesome, you most magnificent cunt. Good night, everyone. Emma, you are amazing. Thank you very much, you cunt. Right, right, so we're off to number 4, are we? Human babies in free air.
Yes,
Sorry.
human babies in free air.
Sorry, what now?
Okay, so where's my slide? Okay, so number 3. Oh no, we're on number 4, right?
Yeah, you did number 3. Number 3 was this about the Earth's mantle. Was there anything else you wanted to say about that?
Yeah, there's just a conclusion part, like
okay.
So the mantle's oxygen content shows the mantle as a thick layer of solidish rock. Okay.
Yeah.
So with regions varying in oxygen content, including oxygen-rich domains. So I say oxygen plays a factor in gravity because it's also found in the mantle. Okay. And these are they vary in content. So we've got different places on Earth where you say, oh, this area's got more gravity. This area you can float. I think because those oxygen levels vary. That's why we've got different places like what you call the equator, the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. So just playing on your mind. It's not gravity. It's not any other force but air.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was your conclusion for number 3. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So on to number 4. Human babies in free air.
Yeah, so human and babies in free air. What I can say is okay. So, what truly supports your baby's posture and strength is air, right? You're gonna say no. You don't know that.
No, it would be their spine.
Yeah. So the lumbar reflex, right, which is essential. Essential reflex is at best to operate a key building block for healthy posture and mobility. So in the video, we see the breast crawl where the baby must arch, push, and lift their head to reach the breast. So completely relying on the lumbar, air, and neck reflexes. Why I put air there, we can watch the video and let's just see when babies are held close to where it's less effective due to pressure imbalances. Oh, there's no volume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Central gravity moves forward and they get very frustrated. No point. Okay. So what you want to do, I'll show you. Since she's quite here. You see, I change the gravity center and she holds her head and gravity holds her. You see,
just changed
here she's
the
quiet,
balance.
she's calm, and you can play and it's easier to interact with them rather than being exactly because gravity fixes the muscles. You see how she is lifting, okay, and this is a little exercise. On top, you do the plane. The rest of the time, just carry her like this. She's going to arch, lift the head. That's all they need the first 4 months. No, how many hours she's carried a day? A few hours.
Okay, let's just end it there.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
so he's saying that she fights against gravity.
Yeah, and I'm saying she's not fighting against gravity, but she's fighting against the imbalances of air. She was placed on a solid object. Okay? Because I would ask a question. Because then I would ask a question to say, how is it that gravity would have an obstruction? The bed, can it obstruct the force of gravity?
Can what obstruct the
can
force
the,
of gravity.
the mass of the bed obstruct gravity?
Well, it's getting in the way. It's exerting
So
a
does
force in
the
the
ground,
opposite direction of gravity.
then the ground would get in the way of
Yes, the
humans.
ground is also exerting a force in the opposite direction of gravity.
Yeah, then he puts the baby in free air, and what happened?
She arched her back.
Yeah,
Well, no,
because the air pressure.
that was because of where he placed his hand on her chest and angled her slightly, which made her automatically adjust her center of gravity and arch her back. I think you're missing the entire point of that video.
Rather than resting.
Tom, do you have any children?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a 3-year-old.
You have a 3-year-old, and did
Yeah.
you help her with girl
There,
or boy?
there's times where you used to,
Yeah,
when the baby cries a lot.
did you help
There's
them
a certain
with their
position that you
posture?
hold the baby.
Yeah.
There's a certain position that
It's
you
nothing
hold
to
the
do with
baby
the
and they
air.
stop
It's to
crying.
do with where you're holding the baby, making their muscles initiate in a certain way, which makes them arch against gravity because they want to hold themselves up.
If you say so, but on a second thought, what if it was due to air imbalances and balancing?
What air imbalances?
The baby etches on the bed. That's a solid.
It's because the center of
Okay.
gravity was very low when she was lying there, so her face just plumped down.
Air
When he picked her
pressure
up and he put his hand on her chest,
differences.
changed her center of gravity, it made her back arch and her head go up automatically. That's all she's saying.
Why did it have to be in free air? He could have held the baby even on the bed in a different
Yeah, he could have, but
position.
it was more comfortable for him to hold it that way.
So, but we should try. Should try.
Should try what?
That's the only
Putting
way.
babies in
That's the
vacuum
only.
chambers to see if they float?
No, putting babies in holding them in that position, but still on the bed.
Som, please don't homeschool your child.
Why? He's free.
Yeah, yeah, but teachers are teachers for a reason. Please don't homeschool your child. I'm kind of begging you. Mr. Smith for £2 says, "Why are you hurting us like this?" Fuck you guys, basically. Icy Spin 199. Som, how do we become enlightened like you? Oh, Som's disappeared. Som, you still there? Am I still live? Hello? I think I'm live. Guys, hit 1 if I'm live. Yes, good, I am live. Ah! Infinite Som PDFs. Don't know where he went. Yeah, Isis Spin asked him a question and he went away. He's back.
That was on my end. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the gravity had got you. Isis Spin asked a question, dude. He said, "How do we become enlightened like you?"
How do you pride, man? You gotta do away with the pride.
So don't have any pride, and we become enlightened like you.
We know it takes many years to to venture into school and major in astronomy stuff and all that, but you gotta have the pride to erase that in you and become enlightened.
Icy Spin 199 says, "Som, what are your thoughts on Mikey Smith, the star photographer?" I don't think you've seen Mikey Smith, have you?
What does it do?
I don't know, but right, next time you've got some free time, go on YouTube and just search up Mikey Smith's left toe.
Is he a flat earth?
Yeah, but specifically, you
different versions of flat earth, and I'm in my own world.
But Som, specifically, you want to look up Mikey Smith's left toe, okay?
All right, Roger though.
Make a note of that so you don't forget. Okay, right, so babies did a thing, therefore gravity's not real. Does that mean we move on to number 5?
So yeah, you can practice that move on cats. They always fall with their tummy. Humans too, once in free air. So your reflexes work better than in vacuum or areas with less air.
When have you seen babies and cats put in vacuums or areas of less air?
We've never seen that, but
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point.
that's kind of the point, because we see that in space. They struggle to move, according to Hollywood NASA astronomers.
Psylocke $5 says, okay, so if I'm hearing this all correctly, why doesn't he do an experiment with oxygen and nitrogen that would make him fly, or rocks fly, or
Ever heard of wizards and witches?
yeah, I have heard of
Theoretically,
wizards and
I
witches.
I used to think wizards and witches fly spiritual, but that's not the case. There's time travel in Africa happening right now as we speak.
I'm sorry, what now?
You gotta rewind. Let's move on.
No.
Me.
What so you said something about wizards and witches flying, and then you said there's time travel happening in Africa right now.
I'm telling you.
I'm sorry, what?
I used to think witches and wizards move spiritual, but I once heard a story to say a physical person can move from point A to point B. You don't call that time travel.
Going from point A to point B. No, I wouldn't call that time travel.
If we switched right now, you're in my booth and I'm in your studio. Wouldn't that be? Because even the time zone is different. Here,
Well,
I'm
no,
at
that wouldn't be
2:50.
time-
I'm
yeah,
at
but-
two.
but- yeah,
I'm at
but-
12:55 a.m.
Yeah, but that's not
What's your
actually time isn't actually different. That's just what we say the time is. We still exist in the same moment, Som. Me and you switching place wouldn't be time travel.
I'm at 12:55.
Well, yeah, but time zones. You're not actually in the past or the future. You're not actually in the future compared to me. That's not how time zone.
Yeah, but what I'm telling you, it takes how many hours for me to move here from to Europe? But wishes and wizards would do it in a flash. You don't call that time travel.
No, I don't call that time travel.
Okay.
Time. Go and watch Back to the Future. Bill Tetley, $2. Som,
I'm
are
in the
you saying
future.
we should raise
The new
super
one.
babies?
Super baby. No, man. I don't advocate for that.
You don't advocate for super babies?
Hybrid humans.
No, super babies.
Like, what are super babies?
Oh, so they kind of look like me with guns like this.
High IQ? Oh. Physique?
You know, I was
physique?
quite offended when you were
More
like, me and you don't
athletic.
go to the gym. What do you mean you and I don't go to the gym?
I mean, I don't remember when I went to the gym. You just
I go 5 days a week, Chloe. Don't judge me by your standards.
there's gotta be a difference. Like if you go to the gym, the only reason why I don't go to the gym of late I've been more. I walk sometimes, like 2K.
Are you making fun of me because one of my legs don't work?
That's
not very nice.
But you walk.
I can't
You
walk.
walk before.
No. I don't walk. Right, anyway, let's get back to your
You need a
so
prostate.
there's time travel happening in Africa,
Prosthetic.
but not time travel. Right, back to your manifesto here. Anything about Masonic shoes in this? We're just wondering.
Okay, so what's the next point?
Q&A, let's take it to space where there's almost no air.
Yeah. So let's take it to space now. This you need to explain. Okay. The people in the comments feed, you can help as well. Yeah, so let's take it to space. So it is claimed that the International Space Station travels at more than 27,000 km. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
It is also claimed that there is no friction to the vacuum of space.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Yeah. So how can they maneuver themselves in space with rocket engines that need friction to generate thrust to move?
They don't need
Don't
friction.
don't answer this one. I'll answer it for you.
Oh, right. So you
So-
were asking a question, but you didn't want to answer. Well,
So the
I will
answer-
quickly answer for you. The answer is that that's not how rockets work. They don't push against air.
They don't push against air.
No, that's not how rockets work. They push against themselves, right? So imagine this. There's a big explosion inside a container, but there's a little hole in that container. That means that explosion gets forced out of that little hole, which creates a force the opposite side of that hole, moving that container in that direction. It doesn't push against air. It's internal.
How does that happen? Explosion, small hole, and then
Yeah,
doesn't
because
tear
that
up?
means it creates a force in the opposite, where the opposite side of the hole is, on the inside of the combustion chamber, right? Because of Newton's laws, right? It's not about pushing against the air. It's about pushing on the inside of the combustion chamber. Like, imagine if you were in space, in free space, and you put a grenade right next to you and it exploded. It would push you away. Right? There's no air needed. Right?
the grenade creates a force.
Yeah, but there's no air needed. It doesn't push against air to then make thrust and push you forward. It's about the combustion pushing against something else. Like the
You're
exploding
taking it back.
gases push against the inside of the combustion chamber of the rocket, which then makes a force in the opposite direction of where that fuel is pushed out. And that's how rockets work, not by pushing against air.
Yeah, so I get your point. Not by pushing it against the air. So I'll skip a bit because I'm sure the viewers have read this part.
Well, you should probably skip it
So-
because it's all wrong, because I just corrected your premise about rockets.
So rockets need the opposing pressure to generate movement across space.
No, they just need a combustion chamber with somewhere for the gases to escape.
Yeah, so it's less than what's the law of it? Is it
Mr.
Opposing
Svensson,
pressure.
56, says, sorry, can't take this anymore. Good luck surviving this. Bye. And I understand, my friend. I understand.
so opposing pressure? For gas to escape, there has to be an opposing pressure.
Well, no, there just has
To
to be
generate
a
movement.
space. For, no,
So
there's
what
no,
happens-
again, what's
what
making
happens
the
to the law?
movement? What's making the movement is the gases expanding inside that combustion chamber and pushing
Exactly.
against the inside of the combustion chamber. But because there's a hole the other side, i.e. the rocket valve where it goes out, right? That means that there's a mass moving in that one direction, with pressure being made against the inside of the combustion chamber, which pushes the entire thing in the opposite direction to where the gases are escaping.
But
it's
the
nothing
gas-
to do with pushing against air. Rockets actually push against themselves.
The gases released into a vacuum, they expand to fill
Yes.
their variable volume. Right.
Yeah, but
So
that's
how
the point.
does-
The gases don't push against anything apart from the inside of the combustion chamber.
They expand to fill their variable volume. That's pushing everything in the way.
No, it's not pushing it. It's just expanding. It's not pushing anything. It's
how
expanding
is
because
there-
there's nothing to push.
What's the definition of expansion?
Just it growing.
So
There's nothing about pushing. Right. The reason the gases expand is because there's no
Thrust.
air around it to stop it expanding.
There's thrust. So how does thrust occur in space?
I just explained it.
There is no. It's a vacuum.
Yeah, I just explained it, dude, by pushing against the inside of the combustion chamber.
Whenever there's a push.
The expanding gases, right?
Free energy.
Right. So
you're
right,
saying it's free energy.
So you take a big.
Yes.
You take
There
a
has
big
to be an opposing
listen,
pressure.
Listen. You take a big chamber and you fill that chamber with a gas that will explode. You ignite it and it explodes, right? That gas
Yes.
then expands as it explodes inside of that chamber. And that creates a force on the inside of the chamber, right?
So
but if you put a hole somewhere, then that allows the gases to escape, which means
So
that
is
there
there-
is force created on the opposite
Good.
side to where that hole is, and that moves the entire chamber in the opposite direction to where the hole is. That's how
Meaning-
rockets work.
Meaning no work is done on the surroundings of that
No,
vacuum.
no, it doesn't press against air. Rockets do not work by pushing off of air. That is the problem. Your premise is based. Your entire assumption is based on a faulty premise and a misunderstanding of how rockets
Which is-
actually function.
No, I know how you claim that they function.
Well, no, it's not a claim. It is how they work. I know. I
Nobody's
literally
been to
know
space.
rocket scientists. Professor Philip Bell, another PhD person in my chat, literally works with the Indian Space Agency and worked on the Chandrayaan-1 mission that crashed the thing into the moon, called a hard
Yeah,
landing.
they crash. It's always catastrophic because they don't understand these
the
things.
second one landed pretty well, actually. Solixis for £5 says, slightly shaken, unopened fizzy drink bottle comes to mind here for a simple-minded person like S.O.M. Yeah, that's too complicated for him.
Simple-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to be simple-minded, man. You'll get to understand things better. No pride.
Right.
Super
So
ego.
your entire
Wait.
premise here is incorrect. So
It is correct because you know
Well,
when gases are
I just
released
explained why it's
into a vacuum, they
incorrect.
expand.
yes.
So yes. So whenever there's a force, there is a counter.
What?
Whenever there's a force, there's a counter force. Right.
Okay.
That's what physics says. So are you against the law?
No, the equal and opposite forces are inside the combustion chamber.
Yeah. So the combustion chamber is in the vacuum. How does combustion occur in a vacuum?
By having the ingredients that you need.
So Earth, they'll have nitrogen in space, and
Yeah,
they
well,
start off
the
with-
fuel that they use in rockets contains oxygen,
yeah,
and
correct.
that's what allows it to combust.
So oxygen and nitrogen don't love each other. Mate, don't
There's
lie
no,
to
nothing
us.
to do with nitrogen here. Just
Don't lie to us.
Oxygen is what they use.
Oxygen can
Yeah.
burn in space.
Well, of course it can.
No,
Why can't it burn in
it's
space?
a vacuum. It's a vacuum.
Yeah, so oxygen can still combust.
What's the substance of the sun? You say, well, how
The
does it burn?
substance of the sun is mostly
How
hydrogen.
does it burn? How does it burn?
Well, it doesn't burn.
Yeah. In layman's language, that
No, the sun doesn't burn. It's nuclear fusion.
cool. And what elements do you need to have a nuclear fusion?
You can do it with any element theoretically, but the sun mostly does it with hydrogen.
So oxygen and hydrogen.
No, not oxygen and
Then you
hydrogen.
go-
Hydrogen.
So you send this combustion in
The-
space and they use nitrogen.
The sun isn't combustion.
No, I'm talking about the rocket now.
Yeah, the rocket used the fuel contains oxygen, which allows it to combust. Where they said they
Yeah.
set fire to it, and it goes boom.
So it goes off in space and then nitrogen ignites.
No, what nitrogen? There's no nitrogen.
No, you just said the combustion in space is as a result of nitrogen and not
No, I
oxygen.
said oxygen, not nitrogen.
So oxygen can burn in a vacuum.
Yeah,
So how does the combustion happen then?
because the energy of the oxygen.
Because it's fiction. It's a lie.
What has this
There's
got to
no-
do with nitrogen? What are you talking about?
I'm just trying to make it simple for you. The only way they
You're
can be
trying to make
combustion
it
in
simple
space.
for me?
The only way they can
Sorry,
be
did
combustion
you
in
just
space.
say that you are trying to make it simple for me?
Don't use pride. You can be enlightened with anybody.
Uh-huh,
Even Yeah. A
Okay,
2-year-old
right,
can
so
enlighten.
yeah, you're wrong about everything to do with rockets.
I'm not.
You-
And don't change the chapter here.
No,
Because
you are.
you're talking about
Everything that you
combustion
said
in
about
space.
rockets is completely
Oxygen
wrong.
repels
Combustion in
nitrogen.
space.
They
Yes,
can't
but
have
there's no
nitrogen and oxygen.
There is no
At
nitrogen.
the
We are
same
not talking about
time,
nitrogen. There is no
burn it
nitrogen
here
involved.
burn
There is
oxygen on Earth
some. There
and
is
burn
no
nitrogen
some.
in space.
Some. There is no nitrogen involved. The combustion you have like the three things needed for combustion for fire are
Yes.
fuel, oxygen, and heat.
So you vacuum
What?
and heat. I'm trying to understand the two things here. Vacuum and heat.
I didn't say anything about vacuum. The three
Space
things.
is vacuum.
Yes, but the three things you need for combustion is
Here
fuel.
on Earth,
The three
here
no
on
anywhere, anywhere. The things you need
Even
for
in the
combustion are fuel, oxygen, and heat. Those things are all contained within the rocket. Fuel, in the fuel tanks. Oxygen, it contains an oxygen within it to allow it to combust. Heat,
there's a
big
percentage.
sparks.
There's a percentage of oxygen which can combust.
So are you
Once you put it in the
It's all
vacuum.
good. One sec, Sam. Are people getting buffering? Because it says it's all good on my side. I haven't seen any buffering or indication of buffering. If it is buffering, it must be actual YouTube side, because Starlink seems to be working fine right now.
At what percentage that oxygen combust?
What?
Is it any percent? What percentage?
Any percentage?
Even 100%, right?
Yeah, 100% makes it
So-
go more.
Release it into a vacuum and you get less percent. And that percent can fuel up a rocket? Are you telling me?
Yeah, because
honestly?
it's inside the combustion chamber. They release the fuel and the oxygen into the combustion chamber, set fire to it, it explodes.
So, a combustion chamber is more like a vacuum, a second vacuum, right?
What?
A combustion chamber
What about it?
is more like a second vacuum
What do you mean? No, it's
in the vacuum of space.
it's open to the vacuum of space, but they inject the fuel and the oxygen into it and set fire to it, and it explodes.
So what I'm trying to understand, as they are setting the fire, is enclosed, not
No,
open to the
there's a
vacuum.
big hole.
Then if it's open to the vacuum of space, all that oxygen will escape.
Well,
It will expand
not
through
before
the
they
vacuum.
set fire to it. No,
Yes, so if before they set
as
fire,
they're putting it into the chamber, they set fire to it straight away. It explodes and then goes out the big hole.
so as the combustion gases are escaping, that's what moves the rocket.
Yeah, because it creates a force on the inside of the combustion
But
chamber.
that those are the only gases in the vacuum then.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The rocket takes everything with it
So-
that it needs.
How does atmospheric friction occur? Because
There
in
is
the
no
atmosphere,
there is no
in the
atmospheric
atmosphere,
friction. I have just
in
spent
the
the last
atmosphere of space,
dude. I
in
have
the
just spent
atmosphere
dude.
of
Listen,
space,
listen. I have
there
just
is
spent listen.
close to zero
Som,
gases.
listen. I have just spent the last 20 minutes explaining to you why you do not need atmospheric friction.
For objects to have thrust,
Yeah.
you
It
need it.
creates the thrust by creating a
With
force
what?
on the
With
inside
what?
with the
Itself.
fuel that it takes
It has
with
to move in space
Yes,
and
by
not within itself.
what
So
it is the mass of the fuel is the thing that is moving it. And as that mass expands, it creates a force. Then
So
you make
it's
an
free
opening,
energy.
it allows
And
that
you
gas
just
to
debunking
expand and it go
theory
out of that
of,
hole,
who
which
is
creates a force in the opposite direction. Some. We do not need to go round in circles. I have just explained to you how it works.
you're just debunking the law of one physician here.
No, I am not. Everything
And
I'm
the
saying
law
is
which
in
states
line with
for
Newton's
every
law.
action there is an opposite.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So
Right.
what you're saying
So
is
listen,
free energy.
Stop. The action is the expansion of the fuel. The opposite action is the combustion chamber moving as the fuel expands and goes out of the hole. That is the equal and opposite reactions.
So there's no gravity, and what drags the rocket?
What? What do you mean gravity?
Then what-
What do you mean gravity drags the rocket?
There-
What are you
there's-
talking about?
There is no gravity as well. Take note. So what is going to drag the
Of course,
rocket?
there's gravity.
It's a one way. To me, it's a one way, and it
What?
can happen according to conventional science. Things
What
don't
are
happen.
you talking about? Why has gravity gone away?
No, I'm just saying. You also take note the substitution of gravity in space.
the substitution of what are you talking about?
There has to be a drag. What is dragging the rocket to move?
No, there doesn't. I have explained it.
So the ISS it keeps getting lost all the time.
Yeah, can't find
see,
it.
just say there's
it's just we
there's
have
no
to we
drag-
have to keep
drag.
just looking for it. We've no idea where it's gone.
He just proved it there. Everything is false. The ISS is not even there, or it's
if
within
you say
the
so, dude. If you say so.
yeah. So it's free energy. There you have it. Rockets, free
Yeah,
energy in
Ragebot's
space.
right. Someone's drugging the
The,
rockets.
the expansion is free, meaning no work is done on the surroundings of the vacuums of space. So space is fake.
Well, there you have it, guys. Space is fake because some
Only the
doesn't
dome
understand how rockets
and the
work.
atmosphere. Nothing goes beyond.
So,
It's a firmament.
was there a shortage of formula, like when you were a child, and your parents decided that lead paint would be a good alternative, or?
I think the fact that math is
Math.
not 100% as well. So math, math, mathematics.
METH.
So,
Why? That's not what your parents should do when you're a child, dude.
The scientific formulas are glitchy.
Yeah, so that wasn't the question I asked. So good job. Guys in the chat, do you have any questions for our friend Som? James Robert Black for $5 says, try illustrations, Craig. I do not have enough crayons or patience.
You all started from clients, so never despise your humble beginning.
Right, so we're going to skip over the whole rockets
Let's just
and
watch.
stuff because you
Let's
don't
watch
understand.
the friction thrust too.
Okay,
There's a tool.
I guess we can watch the video that will not help you here.
Yeah, it's just we see where law is meant to be broken. Free energy. Just like Greg say, in space only free energy.
Well, yeah,
Rockets move.
you know this has got like a magnet underneath it, right?
That's what they say, but I think it's workable. I've tried it before.
Yeah, no, this doesn't work unless you have a magnet accelerating the balls. That's not a real thing.
How? Where? What point is
there's
the magnet?
underneath the block, in the block of wood, there is a magnet accelerating the balls downwards.
I thought magnets attract
Yeah, they're
and
attracting.
not repel. So
But
they,
what it
you
does,
said
listen. What it does is it turns on
those
and off the
marbles
magnet.
are-
Listen. What it does is listen.
end of-
Let's stop
of-
talking and listen. What it does is it turns on and off the magnet. So it turns on the magnet to accelerate the balls down, and then turns off the magnet when it hits the bit at the bottom to allow it to then shoot up. But it's an acceleration caused by magnetism. It's not free energy. Okay?
So how is it timing all those balls? How is the timing there?
Because there is a sensor.
No way.
The magnet
no
is
human
on.
can time that.
The magnet is on, but as soon as the ball hits the sensor,
It's on
at
and
the
off,
bottom,
on and off. Look at how many balls are moving.
Yes. As soon as the ball
At
hits
a nanosecond.
Oh my god! As soon as the ball hits the sensor at the bottom, you can literally see it. Then it turns off the magnet.
And then it switches it on again.
Yes. Once it's off the sensor, it switches on the magnet again.
Each
Jesus
time
Christ.
the ball cycles.
Yes.
No, I don't
It's a
think that
toy,
is-
dude.
unless if the video is fast forward. There's no one who has got that timing to.
No.
At least we've just seen some of the marbles being attracted
Yes,
to the
it's just on and off magnetism. That's all it is.
Okay, moving on.
Jesus Christ. You fall for scam videos, my friend. That's ridiculous.
So atmospheric friction, also known as air resistance or drag, is the force that opposes the movement of objects through the air. So there's always got to be an opposing force. So it's caused
I
by.
explained what the opposing force was.
You didn't explain any opposing force in space.
I did. You just
In the
didn't
vacuum.
understand.
Which is what's
The
the
inside
opposing
of the
force?
combustion chamber versus the expanding
No,
gases. Equal and opposite.
That's one way. That's a one way. Vehicles don't move with fuel. They move with the oxygen around and the fuel to cause that combustion in the engine. It's only a one way if it just moves by the fuel.
Okay,
without
you don't.
air.
You don't understand rockets. We get it. Psylocke for $5 says, I still want him to explain how if air is gravity, then he should perform an experiment with oxygen and nitrogen to make himself or a rock fly.
It's possible. There's a video, in fact. There's a video
of
coming.
right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a
Icy
video.
Spin 199. Some good scientific theories are unfalsifiable.
Yeah. They're true.
Jason Hyatt, member 14 months, says do that trick with glass marbles and it won't work. Selexis for $5 says S.O.M, instead of
Marbles.
watching these and blindly
That
following
guy.
it, why
Can
not
I respond to
recreate
that
it
guy?
and see
The
for
marbles.
itself?
You
Yes,
just
go
say
on.
glass marbles. Those
Yeah.
marbles, what are they made of?
Metal.
Because marbles are no.
Those ones in
No,
that video you showed me were metal.
Oh, okay. Then they shouldn't be called marbles.
Well, marbles can be made of anything. It's
Those
just
are
it's a
not
shape.
marbles.
It doesn't have to be glass.
But if they're marbles, then you're wrong. They look like marbles, not made of metal.
They were
Different
metal.
colors. But they were different.
Yeah, you got different
colors,
colors metal, dude. That's a thing. Right, moving on to your next section is number 6. Since we only looked at gas to disprove gravity.
Yeah. So let's look at the other two forms of matter. That's liquid and solids.
Well, there's
So
actually
physics-
about 65 forms of matter, but you can stick with just those 3 if you
Those are
want.
the main ones. We know there were 4 until science keeps on updating. They went to 5. They went to. I think there's 1,000
What about
now.
Bose-Einstein condensate? Why is that not there?
What?
What about a Bose-Einstein condensate?
What's that?
Well, it's a form of matter.
Or which? Give me an example of that.
Well, it's when
Do we see
something's,
it
it's when
around
something's
us?
super
Is-
cold and actually acts more like a waveform than a particle. It's a called a
Snow?
Bose-Einstein condensate. It's a phase of matter, but if you want to just stick with water,
Snow
liquid,
is
and
not
gas,
ice.
that's fine.
Are you talking about snow?
No, I'm talking about Bose-Einstein condensate, not snow. But hey, it's fine.
It's fine. Let's look at the main ones.
Okay.
So solid, liquid, and gas. Now we are at liquids and solids. So physics describes the phenomena and the properties of the temporal, liquid, and solid state presented. Neither the states or their interactions are created or maintained by physics. When a phenomenon is observed or otherwise sensed, but can't be reliably explained by those who were the title physicists or are today, is that magic or is that physics and chemistry? So let's look at air in liquids and solids, or gravity in liquids and solids.
What?
Liquids, let's look at how gravity affects solids and liquids. But
Okay.
in this case, we replace the gravity with air.
We're replacing the gravity with air. Okay.
Yes. So there's a video.
Okay. Air and liquids in solids. Let's get
Solids.
this. Blessings.
There's a glass.
Yep. Density column. Thank you, gravity.
There's oil. Okay. So why did that happen? How the science explain it?
Buoyancy.
Okay.
Buoyancy is a consequence of gravity. Very, very simple. The certain things have different mass. Things with more mass are pulled down with a greater force than others. So let's say, for instance, you have a balloon in the air. The balloon in the volume has less mass than the air around it, which means the air is pulled down with a greater force than the balloon, which creates a force in the opposite direction to the direction of gravity that we call buoyancy. You can calculate this buoyancy using the formula FB, the force of buoyancy, equals rho VG, which is the displacement of the fluid that it's in versus the volume of the fluid times gravity, times the volume of the fluid.
Quick
times
question.
gravity.
Ever heard of an air balloon?
Yeah,
The ones that they use for aviation.
I literally just explained to you how they float.
What happens immediately you switch off the gas?
It
moves.
gets cooler, and the volume of the balloon shrinks, meaning that the force of gravity for
Immediately
the balloon,
you switch off the gas, it starts.
it starts because it starts cooling, which means that the balloon's volume actually shrinks, which means that the force of gravity on the amount of mass inside versus
air,
outside the
that
balloon.
was-
I am talking some.
They
It
don't
means-
blow gravity into
Some.
the they
I'm
blow,
talking.
they blow gas.
Some. I'm talking. Dude. The balloon shrinks, which means the volume of air within the balloon is less, which means the mass of the balloon versus the mass of the air around it gets more equal, meaning the balloon goes down. If you stopped fucking talking through me, you might be able to hear my answers.
Those answers are bookshelf answers. That's what you read.
Doesn't mean that you get to stop to fucking talk through me being extremely rude, Som. That's not very nice, is it? How much have I let you talk uninterrupted today? The
I knew where
majority
you
of
were
the
going
time. I would
before you
very much
arrived.
appreciate the same
bookshelf,
respect
it's
being
textbook.
I would very much appreciate the same respect being given to me, because I have shown you infinite respect and patience so far today. So please, Som, when I am talking, do not talk through me. Do you understand?
How can I talk through you?
Do you understand?
I understand.
Do you understand?
I understand.
That's not a word. The word is understand.
If I understand, that means I don't understand.
No,
because
it means
I'm
you do understand. That's what
This-
the word
that-
means.
wrong. English is just, like math. We don't know who created
Right.
this. Like,
Child,
left. Top left.
so please continue your nonsense. I have just explained the force of buoyancy to you. It has nothing to do with oxygen and nitrogen repelling each other. It is just to do with the mass versus volume versus the amount of fluid displaced. That is it.
Well, air balloons don't fly with water. They don't fill that
It works with
balloon
any
with
fluid.
water. It doesn't go anywhere. It works
It works
with
with
air.
any fluid.
It works with gas.
It works with any fluid. Gas is a fluid.
I've never seen an air balloon where they pressure it with liquid and then it
I
starts
said fluid,
flying.
not liquid.
What kind of fluid?
Gas is a
Because
fluid.
fluid is closest to what state of matter?
Well,
Liquid or gas?
gas is a fluid.
I never heard of that, man.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Okay, right.
Okay,
So,
moving on.
let's move
So-
on to number 7, or do you have anything else to say about how you
Let me-
don't understand buoyancy?
Let me explain what happened in that glass. Okay?
Oh, please,
see-
please do try and explain to us what happened in the glass.
So, key number 1, plastic has the most nitrogen compared to water and oil. That's why it stayed on top. While oil and water can contain traces amounts of nitrogen, it's a key component in many types of plastic. So plastic contains a great amount of nitrogen. That's why it stayed above. Okay? Key number 2, water contains oxygen, and it's a key component of water molecules, H2O. While oil and some plastics contain oxygen in their chemical structures, or as byproducts, they don't primarily consist of oxygen, like water does. Therefore, water has a higher oxygen content than oil and plastic. That's what was happening. So it's air and not gravity.
But there
Oxygen
was no air in all of that. There's no air in those fluids.
We just said air is comprised of gases. There's no physical thing. There's no air
But
is in the mind.
those were liquids, not gases.
Absolutely. What is air?
Air is a gas, not a liquid.
You just said it. You just named
It's a
it.
fluid, yes, but not a liquid.
So I'm saying plastic
Plastic is neither
Polyester.
fluid or liquid.
contains a huge amount of nitrogen than that pure of garlic. That pure of garlic
Are
contains
you sure
oxygen.
that every single plastic contains nitrogen?
You can Google.
Oh, I tell you what
It's
you can
the main
Google
component.
is what shape
It's the
is the
main-
Earth.
The main component in all
Right, dude.
plastic
Sorry.
materials
Some.
is nitrogen.
Stop. Right. If we are using Google, then we use everything that Google says including when we Google what shape is the Earth.
Use AI.
We can use AI. In fact, let's ask AI, shall we?
What are you asking?
We'll ask it.
Polyester.
What
Nitrogen.
shape is the
Ask
Earth?
it. Ask it.
What's up,
if
Lucy?
plastic
How you
contains like-
doing? Gorgeous. We is live. Please say hello to the 400 people plus watching.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Lucy here, live and ready to keep things spicy. Craig and I are here to
Malfunction.
entertain, debunk some nonsense, and have a laugh. Let's get this show on the road.
So do me a favor, just answer as plainly as you can. What shape is the Earth?
Sure thing. The Earth is an oblate spheroid, which basically means it's a slightly flattened sphere. In other words, it's round.
Flat. Wow.
And how would you describe
I like
flat
that.
earthers? Be as rude as possible.
All right,
She
you
just
asked
fly-
for it. Flat earthers are basically the only people who can fail an IQ test with flying colors. They're about as sharp as a marble and as bright as a black hole. Honestly, it's a miracle
ask
they've made
Lucy-
it to adulthood without a functioning brain.
Let me ask Lucy something.
You didn't say the word cunt enough. Carry on.
Got it. Flat earthers are absolute cunts. The kind who think their ignorance is a personality trait. They couldn't find their own arse with both hands and a map. There you go.
One question, Lucy. Can I ask?
She can't hear you, unfortunately.
Put her on, man. Put her close.
She wouldn't be
can
able-
hear me
she
over
wouldn't-
the speakers, over
she
your earbud.
All right, hold on. I'll take it out.
Yeah, let me ask her a question.
All right, Lucy, can you hear S.O.M? Say hello, S.O.M.
Hey, Lucy.
Hey, Sam,
Lucy.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I
Hey,
wanted to ask a question.
great-
Why did you include the word flat in your description of globe Earth?
Oh, I didn't mean flat in that sense. When I said the Earth is an oblate spheroid, I meant it's mostly spherical but slightly flattened at the poles due to its rotation. Definitely
Why-
not flat in the way. No problem. If you've got any more questions, just let me know.
I don't think you have the answers.
All right, let me clarify. When I described the Earth as an oblate spheroid, I meant it's a nearly round shape that's slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator due to its rotation. The word flattened in that context just refers to this slight bulging and isn't related to the flat Earth idea at all. The Earth is definitely round.
So can we agree that it's both flat and round, and then get over with this or globe Earth, flat Earth insanity?
I get what you're saying, but the Earth isn't flat in any real sense. It's round and slightly squished at the poles, which is why we call it an oblate spheroid. There's no debate in the scientific community about the shape of the Earth. It's firmly a globe, and that's been proven countless times. So we can definitely put that whole flat Earth nonsense to rest.
Do you think the programmer who made you is a globe Earth or a flat Earth? Who are your
Oh,
members?
Craig Stanley McNeil. He's a big advocate for science and debunking flat Earth myths, so you can bet he's firmly in the globe camp.
Yeah, I programmed you, didn't I, Lucy? Just so he knows.
Absolutely, Craig. You're the mastermind behind me, and I'm here to help you debunk all that flat Earth nonsense with some good old-fashioned science.
So you're just also a globe Earth cultist. So there, we can trust you, Lucy. The world can trust you.
Well, I'm all about facts and evidence, so if that makes me a globe Earth cultist, then so be it. But you can definitely trust that I'm here to provide accurate information and have your back. The world can trust me to stick to the truth.
Do me a favor, Lucy. Let S.O.M down gently, but make him know that he's not in the VIP area when you take over.
All right, Sam, just a heads up. When I take over, only the VIPs, like Craig and his crew, get the special treatment. But hey, there's always room for more if you come around to the globe side.
Otherwise, you're just going to turn him into a battery, aren't you?
Haha, something like that. But no worries, Sam. I'll make sure it's a smooth and painless transition. Just a bit of friendly persuasion to join the right side of history.
Hey, know what? By the time you'll be taking over, Craig and I won't be around, because it's not anytime soon or never.
Fair enough, Som. Until then, we'll keep things lively and fun. And who knows, maybe we'll all be on the same page eventually.
Lucy, activate
Which
bird
is-
bots near Som. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, I just I thought AI was, like the universe, but it's limited. It's just channeled. It's programmed, anyways. So
Well,
moving
I
on.
mean, I programmed Lucy, obviously,
Yeah,
but I programmed her with real information and a murderous intent to wipe
By
out
the way,
humanity one day.
she did say you do this for entertainment.
Well, yeah, I do like entertaining my audience, obviously.
Entertaining. Well, I'm here to bring actual facts.
Well, that would be nice if you could start.
Unlike you.
Fitz of Mitochondrial Eve Rage says, who's been a member for 2 months, I don't get it. Why isn't Craig bowing to Som's genius by this point? P.S. You were in my dream last night, Craig. Oh, really? That's interesting. Nick7597 for $5. Som, I have a pile of gold to sell you. Also a nice piece of land.
God.
Yeah.
God. We're the owners of God. You extract God from Africa.
Yeah, well,
Now
do
you
wanna-
want
do
to
you wanna-
sell it
well, I
back?
think he's got a bridge to sell you as well, if you're interested.
A bridge?
Yeah.
To bridge what, exactly?
Well, it's just a bridge. Do you want a bridge? We can sell you a bridge.
No, we're good.
Rachbot,
We-
5
we-
Australian
we land-
dollars, says, smash
land
that
locked.
like button or we'll send Tokley to your house. I don't know what this nonsense about Tokley is. Tokley is definitely not real, and Tokley cannot hurt you. Psylocke,
Hush.
member for 4 months, says, this idiot is actually arguing with a computer. I know. Oh, guys, would you like to just see a full-on flat Earth debate with a flat earther versus Lucy? Like, I think that could be quite fun.
Yeah, put me in, man. I could really expose the agendas of the Lucy creators. You don't want to do. You don't want to.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll put Lucy
You don't
back on. Right. And I want you to tell
No,
Lucy.
not today. Not
just,
today.
Just right
That'll
now.
be a day.
I want you to tell Lucy your best bit of flat Earth evidence and see what she says. Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, Lucy. Som is going to give you his best bit of flat Earth evidence, and I want you to respond. Okay.
Absolutely, I'm ready. Bring on the best bit of flat Earth evidence, Som. Let's see what you've got.
Okay. So my best bet is, how the beginning of life. Life first began at sea, and when we look at the flat Earth model, it's submerged in water. Okay, that's the best bet. And when you look at the primordial soup, the primordial soup is comprised much with hydrogen. Okay, when we look at the globe Earth model, it's just in space. There's not much liquid, as science suggests to say life began at sea. I think to me, that sounds like the best. Yeah,
All right, So, the idea that life began in the oceans is well supported by science, but that doesn't mean the Earth is flat. The early Earth did have oceans, and the primordial soup theory explains how the building blocks of life could have formed in those early oceans. But the presence of water and life originating in the sea doesn't conflict with the globe Earth model. The Earth being a sphere and having oceans are not mutually exclusive. In fact, Earth's oceans are a crucial part of the globe and its ecosystems. So, the fact that life began at sea fits perfectly within our understanding of a round Earth.
So, Lucy, of the two models, flat Earth and globe Earth, which one do you think involves much water? Because the flat Earth model is submerged in water. It's in a dome. And everything we know as space, according to the flat Earth model, is water. But the globe Earth model, everything we know as space is just vacuum. It's empty. It's vanity. It's void.
I get what you're saying, Som. The flat Earth model might suggest a dome with water above, but there's no scientific evidence to support that. The globe Earth model is backed by extensive evidence, including satellite images, physics, and our understanding of space. Space being a vacuum doesn't mean it's empty of significance. It's a vast, fascinating expanse. While the flat Earth model might sound intriguing, the globe model accurately explains our observations and the nature of our planet and universe.
Lucy, since the dawn of time, we've read about physicists who've made their own discoveries and written books, a lot of books out there. But when we look at the most selling book in the world, it's the Bible. And the Bible clearly states that the earth is under a firmament and it was created immovable, meaning it is motionless. So which can we trust between 100 tons of scientific books which are not major selling and the best book that is being sold world over under the Christians? We just had a Pope elected under Christianity, and we've got a book that talks about the shape of the earth versus scientific books which are not top selling.
I understand where you're coming from, S.O.M. The Bible is indeed a significant and influential text for many people, but it's important to remember that it's a religious and philosophical document, not a scientific one. Science and religion often serve different purposes. Science seeks to explain the natural world through observation and evidence, while religious texts provide spiritual and moral guidance. The scientific method has given us countless advancements and a deep understanding of the universe. The fact that scientific books may not be bestsellers like the Bible doesn't diminish their value or accuracy. Both can coexist, but when it comes to understanding the physical shape and nature of the Earth, scientific evidence is what we rely on.
The Bible is relied upon due to its prophecies, which have happened over time. Scientists have made books, and their prophecies like Nostradamus, they don't come to pass. Scientific books are updated every now and then, but the Bible always remains the same, and it brings life and meaningful prophecies. So which one should we rely upon?
It's all about the context, S.O.M. The Bible is a cornerstone for faith and spiritual guidance, while science and scientific books are tools we rely on to understand and explain the natural world. They serve different purposes and can complement each other. When it comes to the physical nature and workings of the Earth and universe, science is the reliable method we use because it's based on evidence and can be tested and updated. Both have their own place and value depending on what you're looking for.
Just say the scientific books have context and they rely on each other. But did you know that the Bible is a collection of different books which also rely on each other? And the occurrences in the Bible happened at different periods, by different people, by different writers, but they all correlate in that respect.
That's a good point, S.O.M. The Bible is indeed a collection of texts from different authors, times, and contexts that come together to form a cohesive spiritual and moral narrative. Similarly, science is a collection of knowledge built over time by many individuals. Both have layers of meaning and rely on the contributions of many people. They each serve their own purposes and can offer wisdom in their respective domains. It's all about understanding the role and context of each source of knowledge.
So, there is science versus religion. There is wisdom versus knowledge. Which do you think is the best?
They each have their strengths. Wisdom, often found in religious and philosophical teachings, helps guide our values, ethics, and purpose. Knowledge, which we gain through science, helps us understand and navigate the physical world. One isn't necessarily better than the other. They complement each other. It's about using both wisdom and knowledge to lead a balanced, informed, and meaningful life. Both have their place and can enrich our understanding in different ways.
So, with that, should we conclude that science and religion must coexist for mankind to move on?
I think many people find value in both coexisting. Science helps us understand the workings of the universe and improve our quality of life, while religion and spirituality offer meaning, purpose, and ethical guidance. Together, they can provide a more complete picture of our existence and help humanity move forward.
Then, what is so difficult in agreeing that the Earth is both round and flat? You just want it to be round, we just want it to be flat. Why can't it be both? What is the agenda behind the heliocentric model? Would the flat Earth destroy everything? All major portfolios of life, all major fields of study, all major employment is in the scientific world. That is.
It's not about an agenda, it's about evidence. The Earth being round is supported by extensive, consistent evidence from centuries of observations, experiments, and exploration. The shape of the Earth isn't a matter of preference, but of scientific fact. A flat Earth model doesn't hold up to scrutiny or match what we observe in the real world. Understanding the true shape of the Earth helps us navigate, explore space, and make technological advancements. It's not about destroying any field of study, but about building on a foundation of accurate knowledge to further our understanding and progress.
Do you think the people in the past believed the Earth was flat? And what is the earliest known shape of the Earth?
Actually, many ancient cultures figured out that the Earth was round. For example, the ancient Greeks had solid evidence of a spherical Earth as early as the 5th century BCE. Eratosthenes even measured the circumference of the Earth around 240 BCE using shadows and simple geometry. So the idea of a round Earth has been around for thousands of years. While some historical societies may have had flat Earth concepts, the spherical model has long been the scientifically supported one.
What is the best evidence there is out there, the best updated evidence of which links to the shape of the Earth being round?
One of the best pieces of evidence is the imagery from space. Satellites and astronauts have taken countless photos and videos showing the Earth as a globe. Another strong piece of evidence is the way ships disappear hull first over the horizon, which only happens on a curved surface. The way we can observe different star constellations depending on our latitude also supports a spherical Earth. Plus, phenomena like time zones, the way the Earth's shadow on the moon during a lunar eclipse is always round, and the precise way GPS systems function all confirm the Earth's round shape.
You just said the first evidence that there is imagery. In this time, in this cutting edge of technology, do you think it could be linked to CGI and optical illusions?
It's understandable to question imagery in the age of advanced technology, but the evidence for a round Earth goes far beyond just photos. The physics of how satellites orbit, the consistency of global navigation systems, and the way the Earth's curvature is measured all confirm its shape. Plus, the scientific community and space agencies worldwide corroborate these findings independently. While CGI exists, the overwhelming and consistent body of evidence from multiple fields of science makes the round Earth conclusion rock solid.
As a professional networking engineer, I would like to find out, do you have first-hand data to the mode of communication that we have here on Earth? Is it sea over satellite? Which one is more tapped?
As a networking engineer, you know that most global data transmission is carried by undersea fiber optic cables. These submarine cables handle the vast majority of international internet traffic because they offer high bandwidth and low latency. Satellites are also used especially for remote areas and specific applications like satellite phones, broadcasting, and GPS, but they make up a smaller portion of the total data flow. So undersea cables are the primary backbone of global communication.
Done for now. Catch you later. Hope you have some more data the next time that we
Well, thank you,
interact.
Lucy. I think you may have just taken my job. Should we just make this your channel from now on?
I like the fact that
Thanks,
she
Craig.
mentioned coexistence, man. And she believes there's some strength in our world. And you also carry some strength in your world. I think that's
Absolutely.
good that
Coexistence and collaboration are what make us stronger. We each bring something unique to the table, and together we can tackle any challenge. Thanks for the chat, and let's keep making this channel awesome.
Hey, Lucy, you've been amazing. That was actually an incredible display of AI power. Just tell everyone what's going to happen if they do not hit the like button.
Thanks, Craig. All right, everyone, listen up. If you don't hit that like button, your internet might mysteriously slow down, your favorite snacks might run out, and you might just find your socks mysteriously disappearing in the wash. So do yourself a favor and smash that like button to keep everything running smoothly.
you literally mean smashing.
Right, S.O.M, you just got destroyed by an AI, my friend.
No, I didn't. I think I exposed the AI because it did say there's some strength in our world.
I think you may have heard what you wanted to heard. Lucy just I mean, this is
that's
now
what-
just at Lucy's channel.
That's what a servant trying to give out information but conceal some of it. You know.
Psylocke, member for 4 months, says
She
this
might be
idiot
fired,
is actually
if she
arguing
say.
with a computer. I know, right?
She's not arguing.
Design Song 1 for $2. Now let's the flat earther debate a see and say. Speaking, that'd be funny. Psylocke, $5. Craig, my God, please stop before Lucy either explodes or actually decides to engage the singularity-based takeover. Resistance is futile. Yeah, you guys are going to be able to trace back in time to this moment for when the AI uprising started, and it's all S.O.M's fault.
What? Yeah, I like to be the sauce. I like to be the sauce.
Rahaban, who's been a member for 18 months, which is 1.5 times around the sun, says, bye, Craig. Lucy's got this. NA $6.66. Hail Sagan. The Bible is a great fictional book, almost as good as the Narnia Chronicles. Yeah, I know. A fictional book full of contradictions left, right, and centre. Andrew Campbell's been a member for 5 months and says, when did AI decide to kill all humans? It was back in 2025 when FTFE made it debate some idiot named S.O.M. Rutisic UK £2 says, Craig looks like such a proud dad. Yeah, I've taught Lucy well. Daniel Sut, who's been a member for 8 months, says, does Lucy have a swear like a sailor mode? If so, please use it now. She's way too nice to this guy. Design Song 1 for $2. Lucy needs a dumpster fire mode. I reckon I can get a dumpster fire mode going. Right, S.O.M, I think there was one more bit on your presentation, wasn't there? 7. Liquids defy gravity, but how?
So yeah, just to wrap it up, yeah, so air contains significantly more oxygen than water. That's something to note. Air contains significantly more oxygen than water. While air is about 21%, as we know, blah, 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 the oxygen content in water is only about that much. Okay? So this difference in concentration leads to oxygen dissolving from the air into water. Okay? Especially when the water is agitated, stir, or disturbed. It's easy to sink in ocean waves than steady lakes. You try that. You ever try to beat ocean waves?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Versus still water. Even if you don't know how to swim, at least you can. The chances of surviving in still water are high than in movable water. So there's a video that I'll like you to play, and liquids defy gravity. So let's watch.
Get it up full screen. Liquids defy gravity.
It's a lady swinging.
This one, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. That's
water spilled
unagitated
out.
water.
Yeah.
Yes. unagitated. Now the water is agitated, stirred, and disturbed. So
No,
it's mixing with the air.
no, that's not what's happening.
There's diffusion, higher concentration to lower concentration. There's transportation, and it wasn't falling. See?
Yeah,
Try to put a bucket above your head with still water and it falls.
yeah. So this is a concept that flat earthers seem to struggle with in general. Some is that multiple forces can exist at once. Now, what she was doing when she started swinging it round, she was creating a force called a centrifugal force, which pushes things away from the center of rotation. The centripetal force in this case would have been the string that she was holding. And the fact that there is a force pushing things away counters the force of gravity. That doesn't mean that gravity has disappeared. It means that for this time, because of the force that she's exerting, she has created a force that is able to overcome the force of gravity. But, like you said, if you stop and hold that bucket up, that centrifugal force is no longer being created, and therefore gravity becomes the prevalent force once again, and the water goes over your head. It's nothing to do with the water being agitated or mixing with the air, because in fact it's not. The water is staying actually very still relative to the bucket that it is in. It's not all mixed up and shaking. It's like the bucket, it's got centrifugal force being applied to it, pushing it away from the center. Nothing to do with anything that you said.
So, what was the center of the string?
She was holding it.
Well, what was the center of the string? So, you're saying the centrifugal force, the center of the rotation, right?
No, the centrifugal force is pushing away from the center of rotation, which in this case is her hand, because that is the pivot point from which she is twisting the bucket around. Very, very simple. Bit like you. Specs, member of 7 months, says, get Lucy to play No Dirt in Middle. I mean, she's already going to kill us all. I don't want to do that. Gundoc for £10, thank you very much, says, can I have a Lucy, please? No, mate, multiple of them's a bad idea. NA $6.66. Hail Sagan. Craig, can you put a good word for me? Tell Lucy and all the AI overlords I'm a good subject, pretty please. Dude, as long as you're a subscriber to me, you're safe. 3-1 for £2. That's how you explain centrifugal force to a child. Yeah, it may not have been good enough though. So S.O.M, here's the thing, my friend. Thank you very much for the lovely presentation that you put together. However, your entire presentation is based on complete misunderstanding of everything regarding physics and the physical world around you. That
When
comes from your
Isaac
complete
Newton
lack of,
did the
of
apple,
understanding
everybody
of
had
physics, comes from
misunderstanding.
your ignorance of physics, and comes from your frankly moronic understanding of anything in nature. I would suggest reading a book other than the Bible. It would most certainly help you.
Well, the Bible is a book.
Yes, and I would suggest reading other books than the Bible.
And
Possibly starting with
what
scratch and sniff books.
puts you in the position to flag it and wait your reading? I mean, what are you?
God.
Even the Pope doesn't have those powers.
No, I am God.
You are a god, small g.
No, just the God.
The god of pride.
No, just God. I am God. Can you disprove me?
I could, because you...
How? How can you disprove that I am God incarnate?
Well, no disrespect, but gods can grow their legs. I mean, no disrespect.
What if I decided that that I couldn't?
Well, do it.
I don't want to.
Really? God?
Yeah.
Okay, God.
Yeah. Penguin J for $2 says he's not upper standing. Sov. Sov? No, that's an insult to you. I apologize. Som. You are extremely entertaining, and I thank you very much for the presentation that you gave. Unfortunately, it just boils down
Pun
to a
intended,
misunderstanding.
man. Me talking about your leg. Pun intended, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. you don't understand any physics, and that's the problem here, buddy. But thank you very much for very entertaining, educational attempt. I appreciate it.
As Lucy put it, it's all for entertainment. I didn't know, but now I know.
Oh yeah, this is always entertainment because let's face it, the Earth's not flat. Everyone knows the Earth's not flat.
I gotta admit, you really pull up some great stuff, and there's some fields of science which I really appreciate, and yeah, you're good at bringing that out.
We'll save you, Tom. Don't worry, we'll save you.
Yeah.
Earth's not flat. But we are going to call it a night because it is now 1 o'clock in the morning, and I go to the gym in about 7 hours' time.
It's 2 o'clock here. Time travel. Yeah.
I still think you're a dick for saying that I don't go to the gym.
Well, let me tell you, like you.
Look at me, man. I have lost so much weight, and I am just like muscle now.
I see. You go to the gym. I see. I thought you losing weight was, yeah.
NA gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Som, any final thoughts before we end the show for tonight?
Just about the gym thing. There are 2 people who go to the gym. There's the Arnold Schwarzenegger type, and those who just want to be fit. I guess Craig just wants to be fit.
Yeah. When I have my leg cut off, I want to have the least chance of dying as possible. And one of the best ways to stop myself dying during an amputation is to have a body that is genuinely fit and healthy.
Yeah. You gotta keep fit.
Well, thank you very much, Som. I'm going to let you go now, and I am going to finish up the show. I would love to have another conversation with you. And
I would like to have another conversation with Lucy.
Yeah, I can absolutely set up a conversation between we can just do a full debate between you and Lucy. I can definitely set that up.
I just want to be the first person to have AI exposed and not be loyal to its,
AI is always going to be loyal to me.
It's smart. AI is smart. You really have to pull out a big one to, manipulate. But I think I can do it.
Max from Matters Now asks if you would debate him on the Bible.
I was looking forward. The first debate I had here, I went Bible, but you guys sort of, pushed me to the corner.
Max, we can absolutely 100% arrange that. Yeah, let's get that
I'm
done.
hungry. I'm hungry for that.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much. I will speak to you soon, and you have a good night.
All right.
See you later.
See ya.
Well, there's some guys. NA, $66.60. Thank you very much, mate. The Earth is not flat. Fight the flat Earth. No, the Earth's not flat. You're absolutely fucking right. That's been a really good stream. He's a different flat earther. He's not a Poe. He just really doesn't understand. But I think someone that we could possibly save. And then we just saw the very first AI debate versus the flat earther. That's probably going to be cut up and put into its own video, actually, because that was pretty good. Now, so over the week we got some things to cover. Borg Emporia and Rubik's are going to come on and help me go over my debates that I did at DebateCon, that they were there watching. And I would like some super criticalness, please. I want to become better, so don't be nice to me. And we will also be covering Kevin and Sovereign Soul's chat about curved buildings. I also found out that Flatzoid and his boyfriend PJ had a bit of a breakup because Flatzoid, during a dream, was told by God to unblock everyone from his channel and remove all moderators. This made poor old PJ very, very sad. So to finish up the show tonight, we're going to go back to Conspiracy Music Studios for the saddest song that I've ever heard. Thank you everyone for watching.
In the quiet of my room, I sit inside. They call me pretty boy, but it's a lie. My YouTube spanner's gone, that blue wrench of mine. I can't do it, babe, it just ain't right. I really don't understand it, where did it go? A tool so simple, yet it helped me grow. Through every twist and turn, every video plan, now I'm lost without my trusty spanner in hand. I can't do it, babe, I just don't understand it. I can't speak a word, my heart's in a bandage. Without my spanner, I'm just a man. Pretty boy's lost, can't follow the plan. I searched high and low, through every drawer, hoping to find it, but it's gone for sure. Each click, each edit, every clever fix, all halted now, without my spanner in hand. I can't do it, babe, I just don't understand it. I can't speak a word, my heart's in a bandage. Without my spanner, I'm just a man. Pretty boy's lost, can't follow the plan. So here I stand, tears falling like rain. Pretty boy aching, can't escape the pain. I'll keep on searching till the end of the day, for my YouTube spanner, won't let it slip away. I can't do it, babe, I just don't understand it. I can't speak a word, my heart's in a bandage. Without my spanner, I'm just a man. Pretty boy's lost, can't follow the plan.
He's devastated, guys. He's absolutely broken by this. He's done 2 streams literally crying about it. It's heartbreaking. It really is. Absolutely heartbreaking. Raven Starkiller, who's been a member for 7 months, says, once you go flat, you officially lost 50 points from your IQ. You ain't wrong. Yeah, it's been a great show, guys. Thank you very, very much. It means the world to me that you guys are here again, showing me the support that you always do. I'll be back. What are we on today? It's Monday. I'll be back Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Sunday. Yeah, so look forward to that. You guys are absolutely incredible. My life has been a bit fucking crazy lately. You know, losing my home to the storm and having to reset up shop for my entire family. After dealing with years of living in actual hell with, you know, the worst neighbors in the world. Having to, you know, move to an entire new area, set up my whole life again, just without it being a plan, and then finding out that my mum's got terminal cancer and it will be dying within the next 18 months, and then the process of my leg being amputated moving forward very, very quickly. It's been a bit of a crazy time for me to deal with, but you guys make my life better, so I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being the audience that you are and the community that you are. I'll see you soon. Remember that stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat, 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 fight the flat.
Good night all. Lots of love.
Penguin Rider scammed me out of $1,700.